a statement, King Charles lauded Kenyans and President William Ruto for marking its 60th year as a free state and further expressed optimism that the partnerships will continue to be fostered in future years to attain prosperity. Blinken, in a separate statement, commended Kenya for the continued partnership they have had with the United States. He also affirmed that the US is committed to maintaining the bilateral partnerships with Kenya and further promote peace, prosperity and security in the region. Governments have been challenged to adopt and implement road safety actions that are grounded in evidence towards the attainment of SDG 3.6 of halving the number of global deaths and injuries from road traffic crashes. The Global Alliance of NGOs for Road Safety says too many countries are failing to invest in proven interventions despite research-based road safety strategies being availed in the Strategic Plan 2024-2030. The Alliance said 1.35 million people die every year as a result of road crashes and between 20 and 50 million are injured globally. Nyeri Governor Mutahi Kahiga has petitioned President William Ruto to remove Cabinet Secretary Davis Chirchir, who oversees the Energy and Petroleum Ministry, in the wake of multiple power outages across the country. Governor Kahiga spoke at the Dedan Kimathi Stadium during the 60th Jamhuri Day celebrations, where he targeted the Energy CS as well as his transport counterpart Kipchumba Murkomen. The Nairobi Festival was officially unveiled in 2022 by Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja to provide an opportunity for Kenyans to appreciate the city's diverse food, culture and art. Sakaja said the festival focuses on celebrating Nairobi's rich culture, featuring artists exclusively from Nairobi County. Beyond the vibrant performances and cultural displays, the event also serves as a dynamic platform for vendors and businesses to showcase their products. The Nairobi Governor launched the 2023 Nairobi Festival. Israeli forces battled Hamas militants and bombed more targets in the devastated Gaza Strip as the UN General Assembly was due to vote on a new demand for a ceasefire more than 2 months into the war sparked by Hamas' October 7th attack. The visiting chief of UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees, Filipe Lazzarini, likened Gaza to hell on earth. The Hamas-run health ministry updated the death toll in Gaza to 18,412, mostly women and children. The militant group said Israeli forces raided a hospital in Gaza City, the biggest urban center. This is Newswire. I'm Dennis Aseto. Good morning.
SpiceFM, Nyeri.
The following takes place from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. every weekday on SpiceFM.
Congratulations. You've seen the hand of the Lord.
Thank you very much. I've earned another title today, this morning at SpiceFM. Mama Justice, I don't mind it.
Joel in Kericho.
Salama sana Heri, habari ya asubuhi.
Salama bwana, mambo namna gani?
Salama kabisa bro.
Mambo ya Inamoi kuliendaje?
Mambo ya Inamoi, vile nilikwambia ndugu yangu, alienda asubuhi na ile gari ya kwanza.
I must have missed it.
So did I.
Even if somebody was to render you irrelevant, there is still work you can do.
Okay, sawa.
I deserve to keep you accountable. You deserve to give me a report. You don't work for me. No, I don't work for you. You work for me.
Do you like that Freudian slip? Lovely, isn't it? Thank you very much.
The Situation Room, Kenya's biggest conversation.
The man who looks at a beautiful girl and doesn't talk to her will end up serving lunch at her wedding.
Haya, City. Do like that.
My father has killed a mouse. Will he fail to kill a man?
Ameua panya.
Small
Mtu
mammal,
atamshinda.
big mammal.
Mtu atamshinda. I mean, I don't understand. What are they
How
saying?
are we comparison? I mean, you kill a mouse.
What are they
what?
saying?
What they're saying is, my father has killed a mouse. Will he fail to kill a man? Name, surprise. Someone's name.
The name surprised you?
No, the name is surprise.
No, what am I saying? I'm from Nigeria, man. I met somebody called I Believe. So I was like, your name is I Believe? Yes, my name is I Believe. But that's the short form. I said, excuse me? I said, yes, my name is I Believe. So what's the full name? I believe in the goodness of
The Situation Room, Kenya's biggest conversation.
If you go out of this country and come back the same person, then you have a problem. Buy land, 1 million. Put it there for 5 years. What's the purpose?
It'll have increased in value.
No, that's the thing. That's darkness. That's an eclipse. You don't do that.
I hope you don't believe that a hustler is a poor person or that all hustlers are poor. I've seen that conversation.
Tell us, who is a hustler?
Who's a hustler?
Hustler is a person who is making a living through hard work.
Corruption in Kenya is a political accusation. The people who are actually corrupt are not pointed fingers at.
Kenya is not free. Kenya imeshikwa na mateka. It's under siege.
Have you seen that lodge on Nyeri Road? Very high fence. You can't even
Windows
sleep inside.
up near the ceiling.
Yes. And if you walk that midnight, you see bats the size of cows.
And when it rains, it doesn't rain on that building.
Yes.
When you're at All Saints and it's raining, it doesn't rain on that building.
The things people will believe.
The Situation Room, Kenya's biggest conversation.
After the holiday might come some traffic, but it's all a wait and see kind of thing. Good morning and welcome to Wednesday. Let's see what the roads will have in store for us today. So we're getting into that week when things start to slow down considerably, but let's see if there's any movement coming in different parts of the city at this time. It still looks pretty empty. Well, that means that vehicles are moving, getting where they're going off the Thika Superhighway, and we're not seeing too much movement coming off Limuru Road. As you come out of Westlands, you're also doing pretty good, and on Mombasa Road, as you head out towards the Nyeri Stadium roundabout, I think you'll just be okay. Mombasa Road, we said looks good. Uhuru Highway is also good getting into the city. So not much has happened. Folks yet to get up and at it. We'll be here when that happens. Let us know what's going on where you are. We want to keep things moving this Wednesday. Talk to us on SpiceFM, KE on X.
This is The Situation Room, the home of hard-hitting political commentary and penetrating insights about the state of the nation. This is a talk radio experience like no other. The Situation Room, a place for hard truths, debates, and elevated conversations. The Situation Room, witty, political, engaging, deep, controversial. In the room, we have C.T. Muga, researcher, academic, seasoned political observer, a fountain of wisdom in these politically uncertain times. Ndu Oko, Nigerian by birth, Kenyan by choice, communications expert, Pan-Africanist, a truth seeker and believer in people power, and Eric Latif, agent provocateur, the man in the chair, seasoned journalist, news hound, a man who believes in punching up, not down. This is The Situation Room, the only way to start your day.
Vipi, mambo freshi. It came, it's gone. The holiday. For some people, it came, it is staying. Until next year.
Yep.
Some people are lucky and they.
I know.
Sindio, how are you doing?
Myself. Fine.
How is
do you see
yourself?
me?
Yourself, you look fine.
Sindio?
Yeah.
And looks are not deceiving. Sindio?
I've not known them to be deceiving. Especially where you're concerned.
You people are the ones who get people in trouble. I'm not doing that thing today.
You're not getting into trouble?
I'm not falling into that trap. It's a trap, sister. Ndu.
You
agree
refuse.
with you. I have refused. Ndu, it's a trap.
City.
Yes, please.
How are you?
Thank you. Yes.
Very good. Hey, unaonaje leo?
Niko sawa tu.
Very good.
The weather is good.
Isn't it?
Umetoa jacket.
That's something. The weather is good. This chirpiness is a result of just general well-being and good feeling, sort of thing, combination.
Really?
Yes.
Your body and mind agree.
Yes, weather is good, bodies are complaining. It's just the right amount of cold. It's good.
Very good. Very good. Ndu?
Yes.
Today is the 12th or the first day of Christmas.
Yes, it is. Good morning, Eric. How are you?
I'm very well.
You're fine. I just had to make sure. No, it's good. Reciprocity is a thing in
Thank
December.
you. So, sir?
On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me.
That's how it starts, eh?
So tomorrow is when you'll tell us what you do.
What did they say?
What is it?
Those lyrics have changed.
Since when?
The last time you sang it, it was the first day of Christmas. My baby said to me,
Baby is you. Watwa Kano.
okay, so I hold my peace.
But what's the difference between baby and true love?
City can tell us. Ask him to tell us.
Baby.
I don't understand it.
My true
You
love.
see that thing I was telling you about? It's a trap. Those are the ones.
Those are the ones?
Yeah.
Oh, baby.
Right.
There's no problem.
How can there possibly be?
There's no problem. Sweet. Relax. Come here, baby.
And that's how it starts. Before you know it.
Come here, baby. Come here. You inside box sealed.
Box. I'm telling you.
No movement.
What?
Kidogo. Box opened. Graduation. Character development.
Unpacked your suitcase. Degrees from here till the moon. More than a thermometer.
Right.
On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a partridge in a pear tree.
Oh.
Tomorrow.
Partridge is a bird, isn't it?
Partridge is a bird. Yes.
Pear tree is tree which produces the
Pear.
fruit called pear.
Yo.
Those things are actually quite tasty.
Delish.
Those pear things. Very nice.
So
what's the significance of the partridge in a pear tree?
It's supposed to be the person of Jesus having been come in the tree of life, if I remember correctly.
Atake.
Yeah. The partridge, the bird, is supposed to... I don't know how they made these linkages. These people who write these songs, I don't think they're completely on their rocker. But they say it's supposed to be the person of Jesus.
The partridge. And the pear tree is supposed to be Sakayo.
Sakayo was in a tree to see Jesus. Yeah. No, I need to look it up again and see. But it's something to that effect.
How some people see things.
I don't understand it, my friend.
It reminds me of that song by Bob Marley, Three Little Birds on My Doorstep.
I am
Rise up one morning. So you guy wakes up in the morning, up with the rising sun, and then there are three little birds.
No, it's Bob singing that song.
Yes. You can be sure the birds were in his head.
Guys, like that chap must have been high.
A big one like this. Blunt.
Three little
even
birds
see dinosaurs
on my doorstep singing sweet songs.
Of a memory pure and sweet. Hey.
This is my message to you.
And then, you see, he knew that what has gone. Baby, don't worry. Told you.
About a thing. Hey. Every little thing. Gonna be alright.
Eric, umesikia hiyo? Hata Bob alikuwa anajua.
Bob was also from a Lego.
Alikuwa amefuruta ile ya mbegu.
Na matawi ndani yake kitawi.
Hiya, let me tell you what we shall be discussing today. So, from yesterday until Sunday, Nairobi is having that thing called the Nairobi Festival, right? Now, the minister in charge of city culture, arts and tourism is called Dr. Anastasia Nyalita. She'll be joining us at 7 a.m. So, tourism in Nairobi. If you said Nairobi is a tourist destination, if somebody came and said, you know what, I'd like to tour Nairobi, recommend for me places that I could go to or things I could experience, what would you tell them? Take a photo at KICC. Next.
Nairobi National Park.
Nairobi National Park. Next.
Ostrich Farm.
That's in Kajiado. Next.
That's Nairobi. And Nairobi.
The museums.
Museums.
Which ones?
Here, the
National Museum.
National Museum.
Yes.
What are they going to see?
Kenya's history.
What will I find at the National Museum?
A little history of the country.
Kenya's history.
A little history of the country.
What should I look out for?
The history.
Old formations of,
Actually, you've asked a very valid
habitation.
question. The thing is, what does a tourist want to actually come and see? Because there are people who want to come and see Madare. They actually want to come and see Madare. They want to come and see Kibra. They've heard of Kibra. They want to go and see it.
So is Kibra a tourist attraction?
It is for some,
Nairobi.
yes.
That's
It is for some.
Is it what Nairobi markets? If Nairobi were to list and say, you know what, when you come, the places that, if you went to London, for example, there are very many places.
Or like if you did the Paris tour.
The London Eye.
Yeah.
Paris tour, they'll tell you the Eiffel
The
Tower,
Louvre,
the Louvre,
all of this, yeah.
Cities have things that that have been marketed by the city, that this is a must visit place.
One thing that's very interesting, and you being here, you wouldn't realize it, but coming from, like when I first came, one of the things I was told was that you can actually go and see and look out for was the graffiti on Matatus. And it's a big deal for people. Yeah.
That's very interesting indeed.
It's a big deal for people out coming in to then be told about it and then to actually
that's
come
a culture.
see it. Yeah.
The Nairobi,
something to see.
The vibrant culture of Nairobi, embodied on the Matatu.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is.
So the Minister for Tourism, Arts and City Culture will be here at 7 a.m. She will tell us, Nairobi, mnauza nini. Okay? And then at 8 o'clock, we will have a conversation about workplace management and outsourcing non-core functions. George Maina is Managing Director of Sebo Facility Solutions Kenya Limited. He'll be here at that 8 a.m. Let's talk about that. At 9, this is the festive season. Festive season comes with travel. Travel comes with risk of accident. Road safety sensitization campaign ahead of festivities will be joined by police officers. Mary Wangoi Omari is Assistant Inspector General of Police, Commandant of the Traffic Police Department, and Peter Odhiambo is Assistant Superintendent of Police, who's in charge of road safety at the Traffic Department headquarters. Those two, the boss and the junior, will be here.
I was going to say sous chef. Sorry.
The sous boss. They will be here at that time. Live stream is up. Edna has done the thing. Say hello. And let's see who's tuned in and where are they. 20 after 6.
Cloudy conditions in Nairobi this morning. It's 18 degrees. We'll see highs of 26 and lows of 16. 13 degrees in Nakuru, highs of 26 and lows of 13. 15 will be the low in a partly cloudy Nyeri, going to highs of 26. And we're looking into a partly cloudy Eldoret at 14 with highs of 25 and lows of 13. Mombasa this morning is cloudy at 26 with highs of 32. We'll see lows of 25. And in Malindi, we'll see lows of 26 where the highs will go to 31. 19 and mostly clear in Kisumu with highs of 28, while Kakamega will see highs of 28. We're looking at clear conditions at 17 currently. Looking into Kampala, it's partly cloudy at 17 with highs of 27, and Dar es Salaam will see highs of 31. Johannesburg is clear at 14, while Mogadishu is sunny already at 25, with Addis Ababa clear at 10. Lagos, hazy skies at 23, and it's mostly cloudy at 25 in Kinshasa. -2 with light snow in Beijing Wednesday afternoon with highs of -1 and lows of -4. Paris is cloudy at 9, and London is cloudy at 8. 6 degrees and clear Tuesday night in New York, coming into Wednesday. Highs of 8 and lows of 2.
Mature, intelligent talk every morning. Spice up yourself. Mornings done right. 94.4 Spice FM, Nairobi.
To Eric and Edna coming to watch the Moran footballs. That's happening. So look, man.
Yes.
We have prayed to God the rain will be held. We've agreed, Abi.
Tafadhali
It will not start raining until Monday next week.
Teams report today.
Oh, yeah?
There are 42 teams.
Good Lord. All from the area?
All from 40 teams from Kajiado.
I love it.
10 girls teams and 32 boys teams.
Brilliant.
From Kajiado. And then we have visiting teams from Narok and from Samburu. One team Narok, one team Samburu.
That's brilliant.
It's the Morans, man.
Fantastic. Football in Malawi, we say Mpira. CT, say Mpira.
We say Mpira even in Kiswahili.
Thank you very much.
Even in my mother tongue, it's Mpira.
It's Mpira.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mpira?
Futa.
Okay. Davis Wee says, good morning into CT Eric, and a very good morning to Edna. You know, us, we just got good morning. Edna gets very good morning. Okay, Nisawa too. We agree. Kobalo Yugi says, I'm in. Good morning to you all. Evans and Tabo says, good morning, Latif Muga and Oko. Okay. Latif specifically, what was significant on your Jamhuri yesterday? You want to think about that, or you know already?
I'll think about it.
Okay.
What was significant is that we had a conversation. Remember the prof we had yesterday, and they were having a conversation about the ways that Kenya can explore these job opportunities. Yeah.
That was significant?
Yeah.
Okay. Alino Yunus says, good morning from Grand Rapids in Michigan. And Alex Mnai says, good morning, already spiced up for the day. Kenneth Bushnell is tuned in from Fangano Island. We are going. Another promise, Nakutenga for January. All right. Benwin Kimtai says, following live. Now, somebody has called you ICT. Any information? Charles Timothy. ICT. And Eric tuned in from
I see you.
Well, that is good to be seen. I also see that person.
Okay.
Looking forward to a great show today. Indeed, Jambo Kenya at 60 listening in from Kisumu Dala. Joseph Kiari is tuning in from Gilgil, and Joe Mungai says, good morning, good people. Why does the story of Simon Makonde and that of UDA look similar? Okay, Agnes has decided that the only person she has seen is Good Morning CT. I'm Agnes Top, listening from Pipeline. Enjoy your day.
Thank you so much, Agnes. Enjoy your day too.
Fantastic. Minneapolis, Minnesota is where Cyprian Kambuni is tuned in from. Tony Mohoho says he's locked in from Muthiga. And from Tel Aviv, Brian Oginga is saying, when does the Bonnie M album start playing? Mary, boy, child, Jesus Christ was born on Christmas Day. Now hear the angels sing, listen to what they say, and man will live forevermore because of Christmas Day. Dum, dum, dum. It has started playing. Sour. Desmond Otis says, Ndu, I award you EGH. Are you serious? Today in the morning, can you see how my life have good?
Top.
Must give our boss those accolades, isn't it? Our boss was on that list.
Head of State Commendation.
Thomas
Japani.
That's
Kundu.
right.
That's all his names.
What?
Kundu.
Mukundu.
Thomas Kundu Japani.
Thomas Kundu Japani. We are hailing you here properly. We'll hail you properly later.
Yes.
Douglas Kibongo says, good morning. Mashari Anjeru says, tuned in. Says, this is for CT. If the alligator comes out of the water and you tell... and tells you, okay, sorry. If the alligator comes out of the water and tells you that the crocodile is sick, would you doubt him?
Yes.
You would doubt the alligator or doubt the sickness of the crocodile? Which one?
Because I can't tell the difference between an alligator and a crocodile.
Oh, you can't. Alligators are smaller.
Would they be in the same water?
Probably not.
Yes. But they live in water.
They live in water.
And they're smaller.
alligators are smaller and they have a narrower snout.
Do you have time to distinguish those things when you see one?
Not when it's coming for you, man.
I mean, this is a delightful academic topic.
I know, but really, you're not going to think about it when the thing is coming for your leg.
Comes out of water and tells you there.
The crocodile is sick, so I've taken over for the day.
Are you a crocodile or are you an alligator? That conversation now.
Yay! People are asking, when are KCSE results being released? Homo, just relax. We've not gotten over the trauma of KCPE. Just be happy. Calm down. Patrick Courier says, good morning. Please sing happy birthday for my younger brother who is also called Eric. Have an amazing week. Happy birthday, Eric. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Very good.
Yeah. King Dave Lubale says we are crazy. Why are you saying that? I get what you mean, though. Crispin Amolo, good morning to you. Isaac Babji is also here. James Gakio, Danilo Mercado, Octavius Cargo, Willis Koi. We see all of you. Thanks for waking up early and joining us on the show this morning. Karibuni.
Bas. City?
Yes, please.
We're still in Djibouti.
We are in Djibouti.
Okay.
Yes. Sasa, walikuwa nasema hivi, a dog doesn't mind being called a dog.
You think an insult, you dog, and it's like, yeah.
So it's like saying you human being,
you man.
So, yeah.
Okay. People get insulted when you call them woman.
It depends on the
tone, Baba. Tone.
My dear, it depends on the context.
You preface
does the tone change whatever you mean?
Where?
What does woman mean? Woman. Listen, woman.
Well, it depends.
Come
the thing
here,
is,
woman.
The woman is okay. Yeah. When you go to Kiswahili now, it's fine. Vernacular, it can get rude.
Is it?
Yep. When it is said. Depending again on the tone. And yet, all you're doing, you see, it's the implication that is the issue. The words themselves are just the words.
It's the same word.
Yeah, that's the thing. It depends on what you're saying.
Yeah, it depends on who's saying it.
So a dog may get offended in some cases.
You know, we have
boy. The dog will be like,
usinite umbwa.
Headlines.
Okay, Kenya opens... sorry. Ruto opens Kenya's doors in Visa Gamble. It's what is being called a gamble. Yesterday, Jamhuri Day celebrations, the 60th, well, the special one is the diamond one for Kenya. President seeks to assuage Kenyan suffering, says painful experience of higher taxes is now paying off by pulling the country out of debt distress, and announces Kenya will be visa-free starting next month. So from January 2024, from any country in the world, what you would need to do is then seek your pre-authorization online. But in terms of visa procurement, that is now out.
But you'll still pay for that pre-authorization, isn't it?
Yeah, you'll pay something for the pre-authorization.
It's just
and there's a possibility they could deny you.
Can they?
Well,
no,
they will give it to you. You'll pay for it, they'll give it to you. Just come. Okay. Kenyans expect fuel prices to fall. Are you hopeful? We've got one day. Let's see what happens tomorrow. There is expectation of a big reduction in pump prices after global oil trends defied the gloomy projection by Energy CS David Chirchir, warning of a surge. So let's see. Unilever is under probe in the UK for certain things. Kenya falls into this. We'll look at that in a bit. Man roots for peace despite his kin's killing. And this is coming out of Israel, where his daughter was brutally murdered. But he's saying, you know what? Let's just get over this thing and let's live in peace. Yeah. Story that we cannot look away from. Kenya's superstars on top of the world, Faith Kipyegon and Kelvin Kiptum, scoop the World Athlete of the Year honours as Faith Cherotich and Emmanuel Wanyonyi win the Rising Star category at the 2023 Global Awards in Ghana.
Amazing. Top.
On the front page of The Nation, Ruto, Kenya is on the right track. So worry not. Do not let anything, shake you anyhow. Economic debt, he says, is difficult and painful, but sacrifices have to be made. They've pulled the country from the brink of the debt distress. They've said they've done that. All right. Taxation says, you know what? These tax measures, including the housing levy, they're necessary. Corruption, he swore that support for the war on graft is not dwindling. And he says no single shilling shall be lost through theft or embezzlement. Now, I don't know if it is from yesterday moving forward or you just know that. Employment, roots for the housing plan as a massive, deliberate and systematic job creation mechanism. And open borders, this is where the visa story comes in from. This was the fifth thing he talked about yesterday. And he said, we're going to open the borders, everybody come in, it's going to be a party. Top of the world, Kip Yegon, Kip Toom shine at the World Athletics Gala. Not enough celebration done about that, in my opinion. Azimio wants Sabina Shege to refund perks for Jubilee whip post. At the time that you were the whip, when you did whatever you did, you received certain perks, allowances. Now, go and count all of it and give it back. Or not doing again. Now, on the back page of The Nation, unremitted deductions for civil servants double to 78 billion. This report that came from the Controller of Budget shows that they're pending bills of government agencies to themselves. Okay, that's what I got.
That's it, huh? The Business Daily is talking about what Dr. Margaret Nyakango has submitted to Parliament. Budget boss wants 1.5 billion shillings inflated salaries chopped. The CEO, being the latest report on the national government's budget performance in the 3 months to September, notes that despite knowing the salaries of top officials paid through the Consolidated Fund Services and gazetted by the Salaries and Remuneration Commission, the Treasury in the 2023-2024 budget over-budgeted the salaries by more than 1.5 billion shillings.
But I was going to say by mistake, but then CTZ would have said there's nothing that happens by mistake.
The salary, this is the amount. It is not that it's fluctuating, it's not changing. But then they put 1.5 billion shillings more for salaries. Now, she wants the Treasury to reallocate the amount through a supplementary budget. That's what she was saying in the report up to September. Supplementary budget has just gone. It was not reallocated. Kula Mwembe. Now in your mass. Kenya out of debt distress on paying full taxes. That's what the president said yesterday. The ticker headlines, Kenya to forego 5 billion shillings annually on visa waivers. That's how much it'll cost us. Naivas Air loses shares sales suit. The eldest son of Naivas Limited founder Newton Kagira Mukuha has lost an application seeking to find his siblings in breach of a court order over the sale of shares of the supermarket chain. Bank dollar deposits up 528 billion shillings on shilling free fall. The value of dollar deposits in commercial banks increased in the first 10 months of the year, majorly on the continued slump of the shilling against the dollar, rewarding customers with double-digit capital gains on their hard currency stock. Unaona hiyo. City.
Yes, please.
The Star.
Top right-hand corner in teal green. This is a heartwarming story. Big read. Hero doctor treating elderly for free in Kilifi. This is a story on page 14 and 15 of The Star. Worthy of reading. We'll look at it in greater details later.
Okay.
But let me just mention, this is just a group of doctors, a practitioner at what they call the Hairat Medical Center. Okay? Now, let me not kill the story. I will tell you the story later.
Okay.
All right? Okay. Severe injuries. Calro casual worker wins 2.4 million for electrical burns he suffered in 2008. Story on page 2. Struggling economy. KRA shocked as leading corporate post loses amidst economic crisis. Let me read that again. KRA shocked as leading corporates post losses amidst economic crisis.
Oh.
Okay. So when they post losses, it means there's no tax.
Well,
the person, yes, you don't. If they make losses, you also what you're going to receive? Loss. Okay. Heavy taxation. Kenya has taken the wrong development path. Needs urgent remedy, says Raila. Now, bang in the middle of the paper, scorecard. Kenya Kwanza administration is under pressure to deliver on its pledges. Okay. Ruto's visa order to bolster tourism. Okay. President says no foreigner. No, wait. No, this one, they've got this one right. No foreigner will be required to obtain a visa starting January. One has to look at the details of what is being said here. Okay? Yeah. The story is on page 4 and on page 5. Okay.
We take a break?
Yes, please.
All right. It is 25 to 7. Let's see how the roads are looking like. Are people back to work?
Well,
what Amanda?
It's over.
Woo. Okay.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.
All the way from beyond Garden City, more on the Thika Superhighway coming into the CBD, I don't think you'll see anything, at least not now. Maybe around traffic hour, but it's on all cross your fingers kind of situation. This time, are we hoping for traffic? I don't even know. But there's none right now. As you're getting into the CBD, coming to that junction, some of it going towards Wangari Maathai Way, the others going towards Moranga Road, you'll be okay. No traffic whatsoever. Coming in from Limuru Road, straight through Pass, all the way to Westlands and then into the CBD. As you're coming out of Wayaki Way, getting into the CBD as well, no problem. Are you on Mombasa Road and heading out towards Uhuru Highway? Same thing. No problem. On Jogo Road, where we would normally see traffic, we just see a smidgen of it right around the Makadara train station and then going out towards Landis. Some of it around Kamkunji at the roundabout as you're heading out towards railways. But apart from that, it's all hunky-dory. Let's see what happens as we get into Wednesday proper. But for now, you're fine. We'll talk on SpiceFM, KE on X.
Mature, intelligent talk every morning. Spice up yourself. Mornings done right. 94.4 Spice FM, Nairobi.
Track. Let's look at the 5 in detail. Economy and debt. The president says difficult and painful sacrifices have pulled the country from the brink of debt distress. So in terms of debt distress, it's over. Taxation. He's defended tax measures, including the housing levy and removal of subsidies as necessary. We had to do this for the government to shake a little bit, but then remain stable.
Kabisa.
Corruption. And he has vowed his support for the war on graft and says no single Kenya shilling will be lost through theft or embezzlement. Didn't say about US dollar, but okay, shilling. Unemployment. Roots for the housing plan as a massive, deliberate and systematic job creation mechanism. And he's opened the borders at the end of it and says beginning January 2025, Kenya will be a visa-free country, easing travel for visitors globally. If we look into some of the details of the story, yes, he did. And he seemed quite vehement when he was speaking yesterday. So there's he's saying tough economic times, akin to what the country is going through at the moment, is what will actually spur growth. He's saying the policies is what is going to actually bring Kenya to the point whereby we start to see positive growth.
It's darkest before dawn.
Absolutely.
Okay.
He says that his policies, they're paying off and Kenya is moving from the edge of debt distress. Dr. Ruto said the painful decisions that his administration has taken since assuming office last year have pulled the country from the brink. The president was speaking yesterday during the 60th Jamhuri Day celebrations at Uhuru Gardens in Nairobi. He said the economic transformation journey, which began in September last year, has seen the country moving towards economic stability. He cited policy measures to raise revenue, cutting back on unnecessary expenditure and deferring implementation of critical developments as some of the painful decisions taken to act on to set Kenya on the path of economic renaissance. Defending some of the measures like tax hikes and removal of subsidies, which have drawn criticism from the opposition and a majority of Kenyans, the head of state said they are necessary. The government has increased taxes, including the housing levy, and enhanced contributions to the national security and the National Health Insurance Fund, which has depleted salaried Kenyans' already stressed payslip. But he says, look, all of this thing that you're feeling now, pain, but it will be better later. And
later,
you have to
when exactly?
Well, we were not prescriptive in terms of
in coming days.
Soon. But he says, in terms of distress where debt is concerned, that's over. In terms of certain things that need to happen in the interim, increase taxes, add some levies here and there, as well as removal of subsidies, it's absolutely necessary. But in the coming days, you will reap the benefit of these tough decisions.
That is really.
And while we're at it, because we want to make sure that, things can be seen by the rest of the world, visa to Kenya, out. We don't need that anymore. Everybody, karibu.
He's been very categorical, even in the State of the National Address, on the matter of debt distress. Even yesterday, he said, I can confidently and without fear of contradiction say that Kenya is out of debt distress.
Yes, he did.
Right? So is it because of the taxes we are paying, or is it because the taxes we are paying have given confidence to the partners who are then supporting the government?
Bringing more money.
Right? Because maybe that's what he means, and he should just come out and say, because of this, that's why you see the World Bank and IMF saying, we're going to give these guys some, we are committing to walk the journey with you. And that commitment by the World Bank signals to the lenders that it's okay, you guys, you're bankable. Because you've got the bank of banks banking you.
I don't necessarily think that there have been economic measures that have taken place in order to get Kenya out of the place where it needs to borrow. I think what has happened is just what you're saying, that supporting partners have come on board to say, we're going to give you a little bit more, and what that will enable you to do is pay your debt. So that's where the comfortability comes from, that debts will be paid because of this incoming support over X number of years. But in terms of solving the problem as to why Kenya needs to borrow in the first place for some of these things, I don't think that has been addressed.
Not yet.
The CS Finance touched on it. And the reference that he made was to the 45B that we were prepaying towards our debt. When you're in the situation we are in, and you essentially rely on lenders to keep you afloat, there has to be the element of confidence. And one of the ways in which the lenders look at your bankable plan is whether you are adhering to the norms that you had previously agreed on, that would lead to you raising the sort of money that would be needed, just as Eric has put it, to repay money should you be given. And if indeed that threshold has been reached, and Kenya has been seen to be behaving in the manner that was prescribed, then yes.
But you have two things there that I've shown you. The removal of subsidies, number one, is one of the prescriptive things that they said, and the other one is the increase of taxes. Has to happen. And it's been done.
You've got to collect and collect.
Yes. Oh, yes, but they're also taxing more and more and more. And yet they're saying they're not taxing, but they're taxing more and more and more and more. You see, the idea is show us how you can effectively collect. Because your collection is what plays the pivotal role in you paying. Okay, so if we are showing that we are collecting, then they're saying it is okay. We've seen you are collecting. We will give you the money.
We'll give you the money.
Yes, but then this is where it gets tricky. This is where it really gets tricky. See, we're not paying these debts tomorrow. It's not Fuliza, okay? No, it's not. At the end of the week, you pay. These things, you genuinely have time in which to pay. So who's going to be paying these things?
Children.
The point is here that with the coming in of these multilateral lenders, then or bilateral lenders, or which is
lenders,
these kind of world banks, right? You're getting away from the commercial market.
Yes, you are.
It's expensive, so we are basically remortgaging the mortgage.
Yes, which is allowed.
Yeah,
it is allowed,
and then extending the period. And that's why now the debt distress comes in, because you're like, okay, I was supposed to have repaid 10 billion shillings by next year, but I've gotten 10 billion shillings from somebody else to first of all pay Ndu, and the city who's given me this new 10 billion has told me I can pay within 10 years.
And I can pay at 2%.
And I can pay at 2%. So that makes you, okay, that at least I can afford.
Breathe, I
can breathe now. And as I collect, then that means that I've got some breathing space.
You see, all that is logical and it's clear, Eric. Our problem is always this. Once that logic has prevailed and the money has come in, does it do what it's supposed to do?
Hapo ndio key.
Hapo ndio shida.
Hapo sasa ndio hapo.
That is
all this goodest up to that point. Then something hits the fan.
I don't think something hits the fan. I think that it's
Nothing
pre-planned.
hits the fan.
It doesn't hit the fan. They know very well from the beginning what's going to happen with that money by the time it's being borrowed.
You know, why I'm saying it hits the fan is this. This is something we've heard for the longest possible time, and it's happened. Hitting the fan is the future, not the present. Because there's a limit to how this can go on. That's really what I'm saying. It's gone on and on and on and on and on.
Kicking the can down the road.
Yes.
Mbio za sakafuni.
Yeah.
Huishia ukingoni.
Yes.
The ukingoni will come.
Yes, and bandu. Okay.
Vutagogo.
Yes. Swahili proverbs. Madam.
Vandu.
Si vandu bwana.
Vangu.
Now you're speaking, it's like you're speaking Kimaragoli. And you talk about watu. And they would say vandu.
This issue of visa-free, what's your understanding of it? What exactly are we saying? When you say that now Kenya becomes visa-free, what changes?
You don't have to apply for or procure a visa.
What do you do?
You just seek the pre-authorization. I'm coming to Kenya next week. Can I come? They send you the paper, says, yes, you can come. Enter.
So the electronic travel authorization, that thing is what you'll be applying for.
Yeah.
And you'll pay for it, of course.
Yeah.
Okay? And you come. Previously, has Kenya been denying people visas?
Well, actually,
on what grounds?
That's interesting. Usually they will give you a visitor's visa. It's actually, Kenya is not one of the countries that denies you visas. Not really. Most people have been coming anyway. What it is that they give you a 3-month visa. After the expiration of your 3-month visa, they may extend it for another 3 months. And then after that, you must go.
Does this not come with that? Are we lifting now those as in once you come into the country, you can stay for 10 years?
No. I think it's only a particular period of time.
It's a condition, isn't it?
Yeah, I think there are conditions. You're not just going to come and hang out. Neither can you think you're going to just come here and start working. Or if you don't have a residence permit. Because I hope people don't confuse it for visa-free means you can come and now start doing anything that you want. I think it's the visitors who are coming as tourists, etc. But other people who are coming must seek a residence permit. You must seek this other thing.
How do you determine whether I'm a tourist or not?
Once you land here, I think in my thinking, we need to get this in proper clarity, is even this electronic visa that we are saying, the pre-authorization to come, is limited. Is maybe just like Kenya SA deal, 90 days. Okay, come in and within 90 days then you exit. Okay, but if you're coming to work, you have to apply for work permit.
Work permit, yes.
If you're a student, you've then come and you've got to do the necessary applications for extended stay.
Even if you're coming to marry, you have to apply for the dependence permit. You won't just come and hang out.
Can't just come here and now become Kenyan and because it was free visa.
I think there may be that confusion.
It's visits. Those countries that have those visa restrictions, you're applying, you're told you go online and then you'll get a booking come in July next year and then you shall have the interview and all those things, is bring a bank statement, bring your mother's ID and all those things. And what's that nonsense all about?
They're trying to verify that,
That what?
Why are you shouting?
I just don't get it.
All the requirements and the whatever for going to another country.
Yes.
I don't get it either. I think it's just really...
When they deny you that visa, on what grounds are they denying you the visa? We don't believe you'll come back.
Yeah, you didn't prove sufficiently that you actually returned to your country.
Qualify for whatever class of visa you're applying for. Remember, let's ask the larger question. What is our policy on immigration?
Who, Kenya?
Yes.
Everybody can come.
Precisely now. Countries where these visa things seem to be an issue is where people wish to immigrate to.
And never come back.
Yes, exactly. Now, they're also tourists.
Right.
But the requirement for a visa essentially is to weed out, according to them, people whom they may not particularly want in their country. That is my view.
Okay.
For the longest time, any country in the Commonwealth, in fact, to date, there are countries, if you leave Kenya, you can just go, literally, just fly, get there. Okay?
And check in.
And check in and continue. Okay? Now, the restrictions, if I remember, started coming in when the world became a less peaceful place and there were more problems. So now there was the question of who do we want in on whatever terms and who do we want out. And if you look at the way we started bringing out policy on visa, it was reciprocal. You want us with visa,
even
you are not coming.
Visa. Okay? And it's gone on. So now, this Pan-African movement thing that President Ruto has begun, in my mind, it is a really good thing.
Yes, no.
It is a genuinely good thing. But to what end? Because, in all honesty, when you say you're going to open your borders, what do you mean? What do you exactly
mean? For people to come and, it needs to be clear. Because are you saying people should come and visit? Because it is linked to tourism. Okay?
Yes.
We're looking at travel.
So we're basically removing those barriers.
Yeah,
so come and visit, see the country, come and go.
How will you determine whether I'm a tourist or everyone will come in as a tourist?
Well, but even now when you're applying and you say you want to come as a tourist, how do you determine? What's the
You can't really determine because you have a hotel booking.
I've poked my Googles.
You've actually gotten the heart of the matter.
Yeah, I have a hotel booking and I have a whatever.
What I'm saying is, you've essentially said everybody can come.
Yeah.
Yes. So the touristy thing, that's my point really, is of no consequence.
Everybody come and tour.
Everybody will be a tourist.
Yes.
So the thing is, are there measures in place to say, okay, ding ding, it's 3 months, it's over.
It's
Eric,
limited
your
to
time
this.
is done. You need to go. Will you now
Yes.
go and start looking for Eric inside Mombasa?
Yes.
Malindi,
There are checks
and
and
say,
balances.
come and go.
Because even now, once you've gotten that visa, watch at this electronic one. Once you've gotten the other visa, how do you enforce it?
This is Kenya.
Somebody has already come into the country. They had a tourist visa.
Yeah.
It
And
was
they're an
limiting them
African.
for X number
And you're
of
going to
days.
tell their
How are you going to tell that this one
has a
is
visa, this
different
one
from
doesn't
this
have
one?
a visa.
This one has an ID or doesn't have a
What?
passport.
He has and he'll give you his passport. End of
Yeah.
story. Then what are
You
they
look
going to
at
look for?
the visa thing stamped there. But
And
at
this
what
person
point?
who's going to be doing this cross-checking and figuring out.
Who are they?
Have we been training people? I mean, look.
Let people come. They will leave.
No.
Those
I
who
mean,
want to leave
I'm
will
actually in
leave.
agreement with Eric.
And then those who want to stay we'll catch them somewhere.
It's not only that. You come and stay. It is okay. It's Kenya.
Yeah.
You
It's
just
home.
come. You come.
It's home.
Yes. We'll figure you out.
The point now here is, according to the Business Daily, we are foregoing some 5 billion shillings from expected collections. The repayments in the quarter, the National Treasury has paid. Where's that story? I'm reading the wrong one. Kenya will forego over 5 billion shillings annually after the president announced that any visitor can get a visa on arrival in Kenya starting January. Projections given by the National Treasury show the government was expecting to rake in 5.67 billion shillings from immigration visas and other consular fees in the current financial year ending June next year. This was expected to rise to 5.7 billion in the next financial year. However, that will change after Bwana Ruto said that starting next month, Kenya will be a visa-free country. This is the thing. Now, are we foregoing this money? Are they not going to be paying anymore? Is there more benefits when you have more people coming in and how much they're spending within the country?
It'll be interesting. I'm sure the PS Immigration Department
These matters will need to be
made clear. It needs to happen.
Yes. Kweli bwana. But that thing of those countries asking you, some countries are minting monies out of Kenyans here.
And then people are denied, and then you go and pay $198 and then you don't get the visa.
Yeah.
How many?
Like, I would like to know how much the U.S. Embassy in Nairobi collects from Kenyans.
My friend.
Those that are denied visa.
And you know it's non-refundable.
Yeah.
Do you know how much it is?
Currently. $200.
How much is it later?
I don't know.
It's $200, is it not?
No, it was increased. I think it was increased.
Oh, yeah? Because $200 now, we're looking at 35,000.
30 G's, yes.
Yeah.
But $200, my friend.
Can you imagine?
Do you know the number of people who apply?
Many.
Yeah, and it's non-refundable. Not until you'll get 50% back. It's gone.
Imeenda. Like that.
You know, there's no day that embassy is not full.
Nope.
And people are coming there from one.
The people who've even come on that day are not the people who applied yesterday.
In fact, there's a backlog of
Applied months
applications.
ago.
Because of COVID and the embassy had to close, now the backlog is running to
2024 June.
3 to 6 months out.
You know, there's something I need to mention. A couple of days ago, we, the Standard Group, were well represented in a Safal Eye photo contest.
At okay.
Yes, there is a competition that took place some times back, a photography competition. It was Safal Eye in the Wild Photography Competition 2023. Okay, the idea was to capture the effects of drought on wildlife and communities in Kenya.
Yes.
And the person who won the first prize is our very own. Our Standard Group. A gentleman by the name of Denish Ochieng. Okay? Denish. I did not mispronounce it. It is Denish.
It's actually Denish.
Yes, don't think
not
that.
Like Kinshasa moment.
No. It's not a mother tongue influence moment. Yes. And the prize for this wonderful thing was $300. Well done, Denish.
How about that?
Yes,
Very
exactly.
good.
This one needs mentioning.
Very good. Well done. Well done to Danish. There's a story you wanted to tell us, City.
I did.
What story was it?
This is a story in Kilifi. There is a medical center in Kilifi called Kairat Medical Center. It's really genuinely unique. Okay? There's a certain daktari there who's called Bashrahil Mahfood. Okay? A medical doctor. She is the center's director and CEO. Now, the thing about this is, it's not just your average hospital where people get treated. The first thing you do when you go to that hospital, you're given breakfast.
Yes.
Because people who come to that hospital come hungry and they walk long distance. So they're given uji, just to start off with. And then matters pertaining to their ailments are looked at and considered. They cater for the elderly, they cater for the sick. And let me repeat, it is free.
Free of charge.
Free.
Wow. They cater for the elderly and the sick.
Yes.
It's a hospital.
It is a hospital. It's a medical center.
To cater for the sick.
Yes.
So it's catering for everybody
Sick,
who walks in.
Elderly. The reason why I'm mentioning elderly is because most elderly people are unable to access medical services because one, it's costly. Two, they are not able to get there.
Yeah.
So if somebody provides medical services at a center that is close to you, then you're able to access it. Now, that is the thing. Now, why I picked on this particular story is for one reason. Every time we look at the country and we look at the dire state that we're in, there's always a heart-cheering story. Someone somewhere who's doing something quite out of the ordinary, despite everything else that is going on. Despite all the noise and the din and the clamor that is going on, all the negativity, there's someone doing something that is actually helping people. Now, the downside to it is that these are things that the government is supposed to do.
Exactly.
That is usually the downer. But let's forget the downer for today, shall we?
Let's just stay with it.
Yes. All right, Eric, to see to watch it.
Yeah, I remind them. There's a State Department for Social Protection. Yeah.
Yep.
Should be looking into all these things.
And supporting these people.
Especially that, and there's a program for the elderly.
Yes.
Under social protection.
Yes, it
So
should.
should be taking care of all these things, including healthcare.
Yep.
It's because the National Treasury has put, we should find out how much National Treasury has put
Has
there
put
in
aside
their
for that.
budget for it and how much gets consumed.
My dear, because something is in the budget doesn't mean that they'll use it. After all.
Another good story is what happened in Monte Carlo on Monday night. Faith Kipyegon won big. Yes. Going by what she has done in 2023, many were expecting her to be named the Female Athlete of the Year, but the World Athletics has decided to surprise everyone by creating a category for each of the nominees. World Athletics says the World Athlete of the Year awards has been divided into 3 events categories: track, field, and out of stadia. So, for track, women, Faith Kipyegon gets it. Out of stadia, men, our main man, Kelvin Kiptum, gets it. Pancheza bwana, pancheza. It's a very good thing. Record holder 1500 meters on the mile, Kipyegon, and marathon record breaker Kelvin Kiptum were named World Athletes of the Year, track and out of stadia, respectively, at the Monte Carlo. After the gala in Monte Carlo, there was even more good news for Kipyegon, as she was recognized by President William Ruto with the EGH. Yesterday, Elder of the Order of the Golden Heart. Today, I've conferred upon our world-beating athlete Faith Kipyegon the rank and status of the Elder of the Order of the Golden Heart of Kenya, the highest honor our country awards its citizens who illuminate the path of excellence.
Beautiful.
When this started with Eliud Kipchoge, after we made a lot of noise here, it was a good thing because we finally are recognizing the people who ought to be recognized properly with this EGH.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
We can't run away with what sports men and women do for a country in terms of its, position in the world. You can't.
Do you know, amidst everything else that's going on, you have one Kenyan winning. The whole world says, this is a wonderful country.
Absolutely.
Whole world.
Absolutely.
Yep. Everybody recognizes. So Faith Kipyegon getting the EGH, that's a very, very, very good thing. And she properly deserves it.
She deserves
the
it.
others are governors and ministers and the Speaker of the National Assembly and so on and so forth. Leader of the majority. And 7 a.m. news time.
Spice up your life.
Good morning. This is Newswire. I'm Dennis Aseto. President William Ruto has assured that all taxes collected by the state shall be put to their intended use and no single shilling shall be lost to embezzlement or corruption. The president called on the judiciary and anti-corruption agencies to discharge their mandate without fear, favor, ill will or prejudice. At the same time, the president said enhanced resources have been allocated to the judiciary to promote its independence, adding that the country will continue to be guided by the rule of law. Additionally, Ruto noted that Parliament is now more independent with its own calendar and budget, which has enhanced its decision-making capabilities without influence from political parties. Kirinyaga Governor Anne Waiguru has asked the national government to allow rice farmers to buy the Moya rice mills where it is offered for privatization. Waiguru said because farmers own 45% of the mills, it is only logical that they are given the first priority to buy the 55% national government stake in the facility. The governor said the county government will help the farmers in acquiring the national government shares so that they can run the factory. Speaking during Jamhuri Day celebration at Good Samaritan Secondary School grounds in Muthithi, Moya, she said the government does not run business and therefore MRM factory should be sold to the rice farmers. Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition Party has sued National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula, accusing him of violating the constitution. In documents filed in court, the Raila Odinga-led coalition faults Wetangula for allegedly delaying to de-whip nominated MP Sabina Chege as Azimio's deputy chief whip. The opposition coalition also blames Wetangula for recognizing Jubilee as a parliamentary party and subsequently Sabina Chege as its interim chief whip. Police in Turkana apprehended a 43-year-old man linked to money laundering. The suspect, whom authorities identified as Douglas Simon Matei, was nabbed at his rented house following an operation conducted by officers from Lokichogio police station between 7 a.m. and 7:50 p.m. The arrest came following a tip-off from the members of the public. Detectives recovered 1,000 Kenyan notes, 38 pieces of paper with images of a 1,000 Kenyan shillings note, 2 bottles containing unknown liquid, clear crystals, a bottle of office glue, 3 black paper bags, and 2 syringes containing unknown liquid. The recovered items were kept as exhibits, with the suspect placed in custody pending arraignment. The Cabinet Secretary for Labour and Social Protection, Florence Bore, disclosed that Kenya has entered into a mega labour migration deal with Saudi Arabia. According to Bore, who is in Riyadh on an official visit, Kenya is said to benefit greatly from job opportunities in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, a plus to thousands of young people who are graduating from colleges and universities. The Labour CS further confirmed that Kenya has signed a bilateral labour agreement for the recruitment of healthcare personnel with the United Kingdom and Northern Ireland. Milestone declarations and pledges on green farming, food systems and mobilizing funds to rehabilitate forests and oceans packed the climate agenda at the COP28 summit as the 2-week conference entered its final stretch in Dubai, the United Arab Emirates, on December 10th, which was also COP28 Food, Agriculture and Water Day. A milestone declaration that puts the future of green farming and food systems at the heart of climate talks gained momentum after its signatories climbed to 152 countries from 134 since its launch on December 1st. The COP28 Emirates Declaration on Sustainable Agriculture, Resilient Food Systems and Climate Action stressed that any path to fully achieving the long-term goals of the Paris Agreement must include agriculture and food systems, and that they have to urgently adapt and transform to respond to the imperatives of climate change. This is Newswire. I'm Dennis Aseto. Good morning.
SpiceFM, Nakuru.
What do you want to do?
Some traffic coming off the Thika Superhighway now getting just past Survey, and we'll see that at the Pangani Underpass because there's no other outlet. There'll be heavy going out into the CBD. Are you coming off Uhuru Highway? There's not an issue there. Mombasa Road is also flowing free. Not much happening as you get towards Waiyaki Way via James Gishuru. And as you're coming in from Spring Valley, that's in from Lower Kabete, should be all right as well. Limu Road not looking bad. United Nations Crescent heading out towards Muthaiga, that's also looking good. So traffic probably will not be the issue we have to deal with today, but it's all watch and see kind of thing. Talk to us about what's happening where you are this morning. Want to keep things moving, and we'll talk on Spice FM, KE on X.
This is The Situation Room, the home of hard-hitting political commentary and penetrating insights about the state of the nation. This is a talk radio experience like no other. The Situation Room, a place for hard truths, debates, and elevated conversations. The Situation Room, witty, political, engaging, deep, controversial. In the room, we have C.T. Muga, researcher, academic, seasoned political observer, a fountain of wisdom in these politically uncertain times. Ndu Oko, Nigerian by birth, Kenyan by choice, communications expert, Pan-Africanist, a truth seeker and believer in people power, and Eric Latif, agent provocateur, the man in the chair, seasoned journalist, news hound, a man who believes in punching up, not down. This is The Situation Room, the only way to start your day.
Welcome to the second hour of The Situation Room. Thank you very much for tuning in this morning. It's the day after Jamhuri Day. Are you back to work or are you on holiday now? For real, for real. It's the first day of Christmas, Ndu?
Yes, it is.
First day of Christmas. Okay.
12 days of Christmas. We finished celebrating them on the 25th.
Okay.
Then we continue.
So this is the day when you're given what? The porridge and
a partridge in a pear tree.
It's not porridge.
Do you want porridge?
Porridge, bro.
Porridge in a pear tree.
No, Baba. Porridge was that health facility in Kilifi where you arrive.
And you're given porridge for breakfast.
Porridge, yes.
By your first love. By your true love.
By your true love.
So
now if somebody gives you porridge, the assumption is that is your true love. Around this time,
yes.
They're trying to tell you something.
I have lifted my hands.
You're done.
Unto the hills.
From whence comes your help?
Yes.
Okay. It's also the second day of the Nairobi Festival. Yes?
Yep.
The second edition. So you're starting yesterday and going on up to Sunday. Yeah. It's also the first day of the Morans Golden Cup and Kajiado, bringing together the Morans to play football.
It's very good.
Senor?
Eric, tell us a bit about that. Who started that initiative?
It was started by a gentleman called Alex Musikeri. He's the current FKF chairman, Kajiado County.
It's very good.
And his friends who are enthusiastic in football. And they just said, all right, so we have several leagues playing at village level across Kajiado. How about we just elevate this one and bring all these guys together once to play a football match? And so this is how it has happened. This is the 7th edition this time. So it looks at the various leagues, starting from the sub-county league, so the winners of the sub-county league, and then there's the divisional league, and then there's the county champions, and then there are those who, you know what, it's you go graduating. The winner of the sub-county league now next time plays in the county. The winner of the county now next time plays in the, like that, right? So all those winners are the ones who come and now play in one extravaganza.
It is a beautiful initiative.
It is. It is indeed. The talent on display is very good. And just to imagine that these young boys and girls come from the very remote parts of Kajiado in the very dusty villages. But the talent that they display, very good. Extravaganza. Come on Sunday. That's the final.
Okay.
Even you, Waziri. You'll be busy in Nairobi.
Yes.
Sawa, we understand. And that's what we want to talk about.
So it's just here.
But I'll have that's the last day of my festival.
It's the last day of the Nairobi Festival.
It's gonna be lit once again.
Yes.
Sawa.
Ayo
sawa, tumekubali.
Asante.
We share.
Yeah.
Us guys will be in Kajiado with the football.
Where in Kajiado is it?
Kajiado town.
Kajiado town.
Yes.
Now, it's an exciting one because, it's the same thing we're doing with the Kipaji 47 as part of the build-up to the Nairobi Festival. So we've been, if you must have seen our yellow caravans, from sub-county, ward to ward, actually. Looking for talent. We did a call out for talent, and that's been from today they perform on stage, and that's going to be exciting. And whoever wins now will get an award.
Will be crowned on
Sunday. Yeah. So for us, it's building talent, and I like the fact that it's bottom up.
That's very good.
Yeah.
That's very good. It's the same thing. The Kajiado County government is supporting us in the Morans Golden Cup once again this year. Good support. So the person who's speaking is Waziri Dr. Anastasia Nyalita. She is the County Executive Committee member for Inclusivity, Public Participation and Customer Service in the Nairobi City County Government. Waziri, good morning and welcome to the hot seat of the Situation Room.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you for having me. I bring greetings from His Excellency the Governor of Nairobi, Governor Sakaja. Is very excited that we are having this. We're really hyping the Nairobi Festival, the second edition. Yesterday was the first day. It was lit. It was amazing. Yeah. And really, I'm encouraging everybody to come from 10. Gates open from 11. Action starts on stage.
It's daily.
Daily, from yesterday, today, until Sunday.
We'll talk about it in greater detail shortly. First, the day's proverb. Every week, City looks into one African country, picks proverbs from that country, and every day he has a new proverb. This week, he's in Djibouti.
Yes, we are in Djibouti.
And the country has very many things to say about it.
Actually,
the capital of Djibouti
is Djibouti. And they speak French and Arabic, but mostly French. IGAD, headquarters, Djibouti. Meaning, if you want to leave Kenya, it's just you go in the morning, afternoon, you're back in Kenya, and you finish your business.
And you've got it.
Yes. Port city, very important port city. But that's a story for tomorrow. Today, the proverb, a dog does not mind being called a dog.
Wow.
How do you interpret that proverb, Waziri?
I mean, it is what it is. You cannot, what do you call it? You call a spade a spade. Call it for what it is. And value authenticity. For me, it's about authenticity. Yeah. You're Nairobi City, you have your culture, and that's authentic, yeah.
Speaking of that culture, we were asking ourselves earlier, if a friend of yours said, I want to come and visit Nairobi, recommend for me places and things to see and things to do, what would you list? And he said, just give me 5 things.
Are they coming for work?
What are those things? They're coming to Nairobi.
They're coming to Nairobi.
They're coming to visit.
I will be in Nairobi for the next 1 week.
Okay.
What is a must-see, must-do thing for Nairobi?
There's a lot you can do in Nairobi. Really, Nairobi is rich in culture. The urban culture, it's a melting point of all cultures. We bring the entire country into one pot. So the things you must see. First of all, of course, we are the only city in the world with a national park. Within environs. So that's a must visit.
Okay.
You go to the national park and then you ice it with the animal orphanage, and they walk through. There's a walkthrough as well, so that's very important. Yeah, there's a giraffe center. What experience do you need? And then now, if you want to do nature walk, you can either go to Gong Hills, you can go to Karura Forest. We have a lot of greenery around. Arboretum as well. Now you will be surprised within the city itself. CBD, we have city tours, circuits. I have done one myself.
City tour
circuits.
Within Nairobi City.
Within Nairobi City.
Walk us through this.
I will walk you through the one I have taken so far.
Yes,
since I've just been in the sector for a short while. So, the Kanu House, the corner house at near, what do you call this building? Nyao House. That's a cultural heritage on its own. That's currently hosting
the
a lot of
Murumbi
Murumba.
Museum.
That one.
The Joseph Murumbi. It used to be the old DO, DC office.
That's a Gazette.
Which is opposite Kipande House.
Exactly. And now Kipande House as well. It's got its
So
own.
you start at Nyayo House. That museum.
And then you walk along Kenyatta. That's Kenyatta Avenue, yeah?
Yes, it
So
is.
on either side, you'll see Kipande House. You'll see on the side the monuments. The 0 point.
Okay.
Yeah, where distances are measured from in Kenya.
No, Waziri. So let's start. So why am I starting at this Murumba place, the Joseph Murumbi place?
Yeah, and why do you want to see a bank?
There's history. The evolution of Nairobi.
So what?
Again, it depends on what you...
No, you've done well with the evolution of Nairobi.
Yes.
You tell us.
Yes, when you say, look at how Nairobi started.
Exactly.
Then the walk makes sense.
That one, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So the walk, you go through that. The 0 point, very important, because how do you measure distances in Kenya?
What is the 0 point?
0 point is where distances are measured. So so what's the distance between Nairobi and, let's say, Mombasa? So the measurements are taken from this. It's
that point. That's the 0 point. Where is it?
So there are 2 places. So it's in the Murumba House, the original one, but now at the, what do you call that?
Where the monument? Where?
No. It's next to the
Telposta Towers.
Yeah. The
As you're walking down Kenyatta Avenue, Telposta Towers, and then there's usually a thing there with
at the bus stage. At the bus stage.
That orb thing.
Yeah. And there's a lot of those statues that have historic meaning across the city.
Okay.
And then as you go down,
What's the story behind that? Who decided that this is going to be the 0 point?
I guess it's a British.
Okay.
I think it's original, but we need to validate.
There has to be a 0 point.
There has to be,
Let's
yeah.
put it that way.
Yeah.
So that you can actually be sure that when you start from here, there's a point you start from, and everyone agrees that is the point you start from.
Absolutely.
Then the distances can be authenticated.
Okay.
Yes.
So on either side, anyway, of that walk, you have the Macmillan Library. As you go down, you have where the Standard Bank is. You have the Indian Bank. There's a lot of stories behind Bank of Baroda. There's a lot of stories, and then now the new Stanley. You remember the first post office? Yeah, the Thorn Tree. Even
so,
inside
the Thorn Tree restaurant was the first post office.
Yes.
In Kenya.
Yes. In colonial times, remember where they used to go and if you want to pass a message, you go and stick a message there. Then someone comes and da da da.
The Thorn Tree is actually still in the middle of the restaurant right now.
It is, yeah.
Yes.
It is still there.
But there's a Thorn Tree.
No, the original one, of course, but
the
they've
original
done.
tree is still there.
Yeah.
How do you know this?
They've redone it.
They've redone it, but
it's been regrown, but it's still there.
Okay.
And you'll find a bit of that history. But even within the Stanley itself, I mean, that's where the Queen Elizabeth made her first speech, which was, a lot of stuff. But now you walk down, there's also archives, national archives. There's our city hall, my friend. That is a beautiful place to visit as well. And then you go into KICC, the helipad, a lot of stuff to see. And then when you're at the helipad. Yes, at KICC, top floor. Okay. Been there. And when you go there, it's not just about, now you see how the city was demarcated. The developed or the banking side or the more commercial side and the downtown. And I mean, it's
let me
beautiful.
just ask you, so you can book a tour
yes,
and go through what
a walking tour. A walking tour, yes.
What you're describing here.
Yes, I have done it. And we have, it's a guided tour. Courtesy of the National Museums.
So who does it? How do you book?
Reach out to us as a Nairobi City County. We will guide you. Reach out to the National Museums. They'll guide you as well, and give you a tour guide who will take you through. So that's one. The other one is we have the historic train. The what do you call it? The engine.
At the Nairobi Railway Museum.
The Railway Museum. They have a steam engine now.
The choo-choo train.
Train, the original thing, yeah.
Okay.
So there's an opportunity for it. Okay, currently, we wanted to actually do it during the Nairobi tour, not during the International Tourism Day, but unfortunately, it was not functional. But we're going to work together as stakeholders to actually realize it, because you can do a ride through from the museum, through the park to the Heritage House. I mean, imagine that, and imagine what you can do during that ride and what you can do during that ride.
It's lovely.
And many, many more. I mean,
I actually did that train more than 10 years ago. Kenya Railways had redone. They'd brought in the old engineers who worked on the steam engines. They brought them, they actually revived that steam engine, and they were doing tours. So from the railway going down to the African Heritage House in Athi River, or the other one was going all the way to Naivasha. So we did one in Naivasha, and they actually had me and given me some notes. So I was the commentator along this. This is Mount Margaret.
Amazing.
And I don't know the story of Mount Margaret as you're going down to Naivasha and back.
He's away for a mountain.
Okay. Margaret.
It's Mount Margaret somewhere.
I think this is all very...
So you go to the museum and you find that.
Yeah.
I think this is all very interesting in terms of what can be done for Kenyans to get to know a lot more about whether it's cultural heritage or things like that. So I wonder how many Kenyans actually go on these tours, apart from America's, commentating. And I think about the other world famous city tours and what they do. Of course, there's Paris and there's London and there's New York and there's a Cape Town city tour, I think that was just established a few years ago. And Nairobi, for me, is one of those cities on the world map which must. There's so much that's
a lot
rooted right here.
A lot, yes.
Because like when you think of the Paris tour, you don't think much. There's Champs-Élysées, there's Notre Dame, there's the Louvre, all these things that you can go and see, and it is the people of France who are coming from different parts of the country to Paris to see it, because most people don't live in the city.
Yes.
So now I'm imagining where people around the country would be able to come into Nairobi, do a walking tour, do a driven tour, but then get to know about some of these things that happen. Because as you were mentioning them, I thought to myself, wow, okay, that's true. There's a Macmillan Library that's in the middle of town. You don't really think about it when you pass it as a historical thing. You don't think about these other things because you just kind of pass them. Who knew 0 Point was in the middle of the city?
I know.
You know?
Yeah.
So is this not an opportunity to really vamp up some of these things to make it then available for Kenyans to get to know?
We're on it. My boss just gave me that assignment. So we put together a strategy team to actually look at how can we market Nairobi, using this a similar principle or strategy as was used in studying the case of New York City. That's number one. Number two, we have stakeholders that are really excited to work with us. We have the Kenya Tourism Board, we have the Kenya Tourism Fund, we have the Kenya Tourism Promotion Fund, we have the Kenya, which is the other one, of course, the Research Fund, or Research Center, the National Museums. They've all reached out. We are working together. But more important is the private sector. Because remember, it's the private sector that makes things happen. For us, we are enablers and facilitators. So we're going to work together to really amplify that. Now, already, each of them has a plan and a strategy. For example, when we're working very closely with the Kenya Tourism Board, they have a focus on vibrant cities. So we just need to plug in that. And so January is going to happen. But we're not waiting until then. Now, Nairobi Festival is an activation path to that. Because remember, just the other day, Lonely Planets ranked Nairobi #1 city in the world to visit.
And that's the thing. If everybody else is saying Nairobi is the #1 city to visit, and the people of Nairobi cannot tell you, go and see this. I mean, you can't really point, apart from saying, we are the only city with a national park. And then we can't even say, so what do you go and see the national? Will you see elephants? I don't know. The people don't know what animals are in the national park. It's not clear. There's no website anywhere that helps you in the guiding of the city.
We're working on that. Yeah.
Foreigners know more about Nairobi than Kenyans.
Correct. And also, we've sort of bucketed more the wildlife side than all the other. I mean, Nairobi has nightlife, which is really vibrant. Come to the Nairobi Festival, you'll find it there. I mean, last night was lit. During the day, lots of activities you can do. So it is an opportunity for us, and we're taking advantage of that opportunity. We're activating it.
So when?
We have started.
It's
a journey. It's a journey. So you achieve as you go. It builds up.
Waziri, for accountability purposes.
Yes.
That's why we're asking this question.
Yeah.
When should we expect to see the first output of this strategy that you're working on? When are we going to see a new entry to the Murumbi Museum, something more on the Murumbi Museum? People don't even know Murumbi Museum, don't even know Joseph Murumbi.
They don't even know what he played. You to say Kipande, I was asking, why do I need to go and see a bank?
You see that building, it doesn't even look old. And you look at it, this is the oldest building in Nairobi.
Really? And so?
It houses ATMs.
No, it doesn't have. No, it's okay. And Kipande House, yes, of course, KCB.
You know what I find strange? What I find strange is that the Nairobi County government is getting into the space that other bodies that are supposed to have gotten into, because when you talk about Kenya Tourism Board, it's Kenya, the entire Kenya.
But tourism is devolved.
Yes, it is devolved.
It is about collaboration. We must work as counties.
We have a Ministry of Tourism, don't we?
We do.
Precisely.
Yes.
So I'm not talking about the current. Nairobi has been there for the longest possible time. Tourism has been there for the longest possible time. How is it now that it is now that we're realizing,
we can sell something more than the park?
How?
I think we got into a comfort zone because we were always the best. Yeah. It's a realization. But important is the fact that deliberately it was in His Excellency the Governor's manifesto. So we shall actualize that. We've reached out to and it's happening. It's also because it's happening very quietly. And how much have we focused on the local tourists? Because those are the guys who don't know. Like you said, international tourists will tell you much more about Nairobi than local tourists, than Kenyans. So one of the things that also Kenya Tourism Board is doing is destination marketing. So marketing the assets and the tourism perspective in the counties. And we're working together as counties. And that's the idea, to make sure that when you land in Nairobi, or if you land in any one county, let's say you land in Nairobi, depending on how much time you have, you have something to do in Nairobi, you have something to do in the surrounding counties, you have something to do within the country. So that's a collaboration that is in the works. And I'm sure it's going to work.
Again, my question was when this story started. I started hearing it when Evans Kidero was the governor. He had a minister for tourism. There was a minister for tourism in the next government. And the whole issue of marketing Nairobi as a tourism destination has been a conversation. So finally,
can I tell you what's different?
As you're working on this, what are your timelines?
Yes, can I tell you what's different with Honorable His Excellency Honorable Sakaja's government? Historically, tourism was under trade. Yeah? Culture, arts and heritage was in sports and culture and youth. But he has deliberately put them together, given it a dedicated chief officer, a very experienced chief officer, was called, if you remember, DJ Clement. And that's the focus for us. So it is deliberate, it is focused, there's a strategy, and there's a very strong team behind it. And that's why if you come to the opening ceremony yesterday, day one, it was different. And that's because we have a dedicated chief officer, we have a dedicated team that is looking at city culture, arts and tourism. The other thing is that you cannot separate tourism from culture and arts, because tourism markets what? Culture, arts.
Another thing that you can't separate it from then also is infrastructure, because now as we look at some of these things, and if you're going to say, and for me, let me take a few steps back. Look at some of these other countries that we're now starting to compare Nairobi to. If you look at the US, for example, well over 60%, 70% of their tourists are local tourists.
Absolutely, and that's sustainable.
Minimum number come from outside, so they're not even bothered. But what have they done? They made sure that the infrastructure has been set up in such a way that people want to see, people who live in Grand Rapids want to go and see what's happening at the Fisherman's Wharf in San Francisco. They want to go and see that because they've made it appealing. Now, I'm looking at a situation where Nairobi is punching below its weight because there's certain things that we've just not put in place. One of those is the cleanliness of the city. Infrastructure.
Or do you know that His Excellency the Governor has just employed how many? 3,500.
We saw them in the Guru Park.
Please hear me out on this.
I will hear you out.
Because it is not something that can be done once. It's got to be sustainable.
It's not an event.
It is exactly. It's got to be sustained, because what we're saying is that somebody is going to come to Nairobi for business from Kisumu. Absolutely. And please note that I'm talking about Kenyans. I'm not talking about people from outside.
Absolutely,
Somebody's going to come from Kisumu to Nairobi on a Thursday and decides, let me stay here for the weekend and do 1, 2, 3 things, because I believe that was what the target would be eventually. And if there's not easy movability through the city, if you have to walk, if you're going to do a walking tour and you're competing with hawkers, or you're competing with trash, or you want to do a walking tour and there are no facilities for like washrooms, proper ones that you can use, this is a hamper to that kind of culture tourism that we are talking about. So would these things then work hand in hand, and not employ 3,000 people to clean up the city, but to maintain cleanliness and order over time?
That's a strategy, and that's a plan, and that's what will happen, because even beyond cleaning the city is also the landscaping. That's under one ministry.
Waziri,
so it's a long-term strategy. It's not a one-off. It's just that there are those pain points that you must deal with immediately. I mean, for example, for the first time, South Sea never flooded. Many places did not flood because
did it rain in South Sea?
Did it rain in Nairobi? All right, yes. No, but the impact is then it's gonna be big.
Let's continue the conversation shortly. We are hosting the Nairobi Minister in charge of inclusivity, public participation and customer service. One of the things that she deals with is city culture, arts and tourism. She is Dr. Anastasia Nyalita. As the Nairobi festival is happening this week, we're looking back at, okay, so what is this that is attractive for Nairobi, that makes people want to come to Nairobi, want to visit Nairobi? From Murang'a, from Kapenguria, from Lodwar, from London.
From Loitoktok.
From Loitoktok. Coming here, and you can't tell someone from Loitoktok there's a national park. Boss, we have 2 gates to Amboseli National Park. What? We walk with animals daily. To come and see. Come and say what? No. Tell me something else. So for us, it's ile nyumba kubwa inatoka ICC. Now.
There you go.
Sawa.
Yes.
Sawa.
Yeah.
Hiyo ni kubwa.
I can go and do trade in Nairobi. I buy and resell in Loitoktok, for example.
Hiyo nyumba ni kubwa. Nataona matatu. Hiyo ni kubwa.
And matatus that are
We'll
really...
talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's take this break. We'll be back shortly.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.
Oh, finally! It's my Standard Courier delivery.
At Standard Courier, we know that your time is valuable. That's why we guarantee swift and efficient deliveries to your doorstep every time. Give us a call on 0793 599 684 or schedule your next delivery by visiting our website www.standardmedia.co.ke/courier. Trust Standard Courier service for all your courier needs. We deliver with pride.
Some very nice, mature music.
They really take me back to my days, and I can just fully get and enjoy the vibes.
Sunny conditions in Nairobi, partly sunny, highs of 26 and lows of 16. We'll see lows of 14 in a mostly sunny Nakuru at 15. And it's 15 and sunny in Nyeri with highs of 26. So looking into a partly sunny Eldoret at 14 with highs of 25. We'll see lows of 13. It's cloudy at 26 in Mombasa with highs of 32, and we'll see highs of 31, in Malindi, where it's cloudy at 27. It's 21 in Kisumu, highs of 28, and 18 in Kakamega with highs of 28 as well. Mostly cloudy at 19 in Kampala with highs of 27, while Dar es Salaam is sunny. It'll go to highs of 31. Looking into a cloudy Kampala at 19 with highs of 27 and highs of 31 in Dar es Salaam. Johannesburg is cloudy at 15, and Mogadishu is sunny at 27 with sunny conditions at 12 in Addis Ababa. Lagos hazy at 23 with highs of 32, and we'll see highs of 31 in a partly cloudy Kinshasa at 25.
Mature, intelligent talk every morning. Done right. 94.4 Spice FM, Nairobi.
Okay, so Wednesday morning is not too crazy. We're getting into traffic hour, and this is where we start to see some movement on Limuru Road, but it's not getting people out of whack just yet. United Nations Crescent, then heading out towards Limuru Road, just a smidgen of traffic, but you'll be able to get through this. Right on Uhuru Highway, getting into the city, I think you're fine. And where we see into the CBD this morning, that is extremely busy, then is on Valley Road. As you get in, we're not quite sure what's causing that traffic, but it's quite heavy. On the Thika Superhighway, we're not seeing much. I think we'll be fine. As you're getting then into the city through to Westlands, there it's going to clog up just a little bit. Okay, what else are we looking at? Haile Selassie, there's traffic there heading towards railways, but again, all manageable. We're keeping an eye on things. We're getting into traffic hour proper now. Let's talk on SpiceFM KE on X.
Spice up your life. Mature, intelligent talk every morning. Spice up yourself. Mornings done right. 94.4 Spice FM, Nairobi.
Our conversation continues with Dr. Anastasia Nyalita. She is the CECM for Inclusivity, Public Participation and Customer Service. She is the Waziri in charge of the Nairobi Festival, second edition, that's currently ongoing at Uhuru Park in Nairobi. City culture, arts and tourism. And as we were taking the break, you mentioned Matatu and said Matatu is part of Nairobi's culture.
Yes.
Explain.
Wow. Where else do you go and you find graffiti on matatus. Music booming on whatever on in the matatus. Yeah, so that is an attraction. And if you remember when the king came, also they did
a
Matatu ride.
Matatu for.
Yes, yeah.
So that attracts people to come and see this. What is it that someone then notices, apart from the beautiful graffiti, which is lovely art, right? And you look at these matatus and you're like, someone actually did put some good work out of it. What else? What do you notice out of the matatu?
I mean,
do you notice the chaos? Is that part of it, of the selling point?
Is it chaos or is it entertainment?
Okay.
It depends on how you look at it.
How do you look at it?
It's entertainment. It's a beauty.
How?
It's different. It's different.
So the loud music, the blaring horns,
the ride,
breaking of the rules, the speed.
They don't break the rules nowadays, do they?
Oh yes, they do.
They do. Well, I guess that's part of the culture.
But they're not alone. They've been joined by the picky fellows.
Yeah. I mean, that's part of the experience. And you remember it forever. But also look at where they go to. The estates. It's an experience because they go to every part of a city county. For example, if you want to ride to Gong, if you want to ride to Buruburu, east west, in the process you get to see a deeper side of a city rather than just a CBD. Because if you're visiting Nairobi and you see the CBD and you're off, you've not experienced Nairobi. You need to experience the authenticity of a city.
Okay.
Which now the Matatu is part of the experiences, and it will take you to those places that you might not be able to go in any other way.
I agree.
Yeah.
Back to the point that Ndu was making, infrastructure.
Yes.
You see, these matatus, then you need to know, if I want to go to Rongai, this is the place that's designated for matatus for Rongai. And that place, if I get there, it's well organized. I can get onto a matatu, and then I can get out of the matatu. I want to go to South Bay, I can cross over to this side, I'll get onto that matatu. Currently, Waziri, you'll agree with me, it's quite chaotic. Under the Thika Superhighway at Globe Cinema Roundabout is a bus stop. All over chaos. At railways, are they still there after the Waziri Musalia Mudavadi moved in? Or are they moved Pigia Waziri Kelele? It's still there. Chaos. I mean,
it's not that bad.
Infrastructure-wise.
Waziri, have you been downtown? Have you been downtown recently?
Yes, I drive around there. That's part of the beauty, but order will come.
By the way, this is
in fact, the promise by the governor, His Excellency Governor Sakaja, is a city of hope, dignity, hope and opportunity for all. So that's a journey we're walking.
Order. His campaign was order.
And you've seen the kind of stuff.
Restore order in Nairobi.
Yeah.
Do we have that order being restored in Nairobi? Especially in the public transport sector and in the transport sector.
You see, by the time you create change, Eric, it's not. I mean, you have to, there are many stakeholders involved, so you have to have a lot of conversations and engagements with that, and that's a very strong, collaboration that's been happening, continue to happen, and with time, it's really changing a culture. It's like turning a.
You know what I normally find that makes a job or a challenge easier is to literally walk in the shoes of the problem for 5 minutes. Because then now you have an understanding. I mean, it's so that implementation for you probably then becomes something that you then have. If you were to walk from University of Nairobi down to railways,
yes,
and experience the challenge of navigating, and you're not doing anything. You're not going to stop in a shop and whatever.
Just
you
walking.
are walking from that junction to railways one day and see the different things that you would have to experience. And then, maybe you want to use a washroom somewhere and nobody's going to let you walk into the Thorn Tree restaurant to do that. And see what the city then provides for you. And this is because you have somewhere to go. Now, here we are saying that we want to make it touristy for people.
Yeah.
And we want to say that certain things you'll be able to stop. A walking tour. And this is now where you have somewhere to go. You're going to Macmillan to enter, see, come out. You're going to Bank of Baroda to see what it was. Then you're going to come around and you're going to go to Kipande House. And then you're going to go to this other building at that side.
Murumbi.
Joseph Murumbi.
Then you walk
and
along
see all
there
of
and
this.
get to
Then you
Parliament.
walk along there, get to Parliament, see where the first president was buried and all of that.
Cross
and then
over
you
to
cross
KICC.
over to the other side.
I can see you've done a very nice tour city.
My sister, I've walked in this city and I'm telling you, it is not
She just
fun.
described that nice circuit that
Yes.
everybody wants to experience.
Now, I can even give you some ideas and I'll do it for free. But look, here we are saying that we want to navigate this, and I'm still going to harp on that issue that there's certain things that I feel need to be done.
Yeah.
You don't want to be walking on a cobbled road and then half the cobble is gone. That should be fixed.
There's
you
an
don't want
empty
to see that
ditch in
there are
front of you.
overflowing garbage bins. Those should be
Open
taken
manhole.
care of. Open
Yes.
manholes that you could fall in.
All
and
that-
you have a group of 25 people walking at the same time.
Yeah.
You're 25 and then you look behind and you're less 2 people. You don't know what has happened.
Swallowed.
These are the things that we're talking about.
Absolutely, and I agree. And I can tell you a lot is happening. And also, I go back to the organization structure that His Excellency the Governor has put in place. Very clear dedication on Green Nairobi. So things of garbage, water, agriculture, urban agriculture, and he has a very strong minister responsible for that. Mobility and works, again, very strong. Looking at the infrastructure, it's working. There's a lot of work going on. I think for us, we're guilty of not saying what we're doing, and this is now again falls back on my sector, which is charged with public communications.
Yep.
And we're going to tell that story, because if we don't tell the story, nobody will know what is happening. Yeah. So it's the structure of the and then the one county approach, which His Excellency Governor Sakaja has championed, and we are, as ministers, and we're 10 of us. We have embraced that, and we're working as one team. So that cross-cutting collaboration between the different sectors is what is really at the end of the day going to cause the highest impact. But what you mentioned about garbage, about infrastructure, the plan is very strong. I mean, you'll be very surprised how strong at least the county plans are. Very clear plans, what needs to be done by, in 1 year, in 5 years, a county integrated development plan. All that is in place. And that's how the resources are allocated on a yearly basis, during the budgeting process. So it's working.
I mean, I hear what you're saying in terms of plans, but a wise man once said that the strength of a plan is in its implementation.
Not a doubt.
Right? So then if we're saying that over the next 3 or 4 years, and I can see that, Eric is harping on timing here, when will you start to see? Because it will be very sad to see that plans actually have been done, and then 4 years later, we're still talking about plans. Maybe then we will see if this could happen.
No, so
I would love to see a situation whereby you're doing this bus tour, and it's not just any bus, but you're marrying this culture. Absolutely. Whereby a graffiti Matatu is the Matatu that's doing the bus tour.
Hop off.
Yeah.
Is the one doing the bus tour. You get on this graffiti, world renowned, because it is world renowned.
Yeah.
It's one of the first things I heard of before I came here.
Yeah.
So use that, for example, as one of the vehicles that will take people around the city.
Yeah.
Combine and marry the culture. But again, it still comes to the point of how operational are you actually making the city for this to happen?
So we have annual work plans. Every minister has a performance contract that ties with the annual performance. And what you're saying is all in our performance. The different ministers have that in their performance contracts. Yeah, we review annually. But the most important piece is working with stakeholders and working with partners. As you've seen in the news, you've had a lot of funding is now coming into the city to support things to do with climate change, to do with water. We have a lot of support coming through the tourism fund. They have a budget to support the cities, and we're tapping into that. So the plan is there. Of course, the funding is limited from a budgetary allocation, but the partners is where, the donors and whatever is, of course, is pitching. Yeah. And there's a lot of interest to support. So that's why it complements. So within the 5 years, there's what is to be done year 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4. We are now in the second year. So it's working. It's very clearly outlined.
Doctor, you come from the private sector.
Yes.
Where things work exactly the way you described them.
Yeah.
This is the public sector. Things don't work at all the way you've just described.
I agree with you. But His Excellency Sakaja was very deliberate in choosing his cabinet. He has a very strong cabinet, and that's how I found myself in his cabinet. So we have no doubt in terms of execution.
The cabinet is new,
but experienced.
The civil servants within the county government are not new.
Yes.
They're the same old people who've been there.
Absolutely.
And usually it's the same old mentality that exists. What I'd like to find out is how exactly are we going to change this mindset? Because the plans you have are good. They should be supported and they must
They
work.
will be supported, yes.
But the people who you will work with have a way of doing things that guarantees that very little actually gets done. A lot is said, but at the end of the day, you'll be amazed at how 5 years go quickly. In your case, it's 4 years. You'll be shocked at how quickly it goes, and you'll be thinking, okay, perhaps we need another 5 more years to do this.
But can I tell you?
Please.
Everything starts and stops with rises and falls with leadership.
Yes.
We have a great leader, no doubt. He has a great cabinet. It will work. We have no doubt.
When? You know.
I've told you about the plan.
Kidero's people told us they have a great leader and they're great. Sonko's people told us they have a great leader and they're great. You know, we've had 5 governors in this city. Mutura, who was speaker, he became governor. He said, we are doing. Then the Kananu, same. General Badi sat here, same. Sakaja has been here, same. Where we are, you are the one in charge of inclusivity, public participation, and customer service. This is public participation.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
And for us that you're engaging the public, we want to hear, within this time, you'll begin to see this difference. So the Nairobi Festival is a good thing. It happened last year. You just come into office, come December, and the festival was pulled off, and it was a great festival.
Absolutely.
Second year, good festival again, from what you're saying and from what we've heard from yesterday. Okay, good festival. Many things happening. But to tie on to all these other things, we can't just be hearing, there's a great plan, there's a great plan. The great plans, we know they are great plans.
Yes.
We don't care for plans.
Correct.
I want, as Ndu is walking from Kipande House to go to Parliament, to go to KICC and to see the Supreme Court building and to go elsewhere, if she gets a call of nature, she has a toilet that she can go to.
And she doesn't have to walk all the way to Aga walk.
And she doesn't have to go and ask someone, tafadhali simunipatie funguo ya choo. No. That's what we want our visitors to Nairobi to experience.
Exactly.
To be able to walk and not fall into an open manhole. Some of these things, when are we going to start seeing?
Things don't happen overnight. That's number one. Number two, the good thing... The good thing is that, you mentioned public participation.
Yes.
So our annual plan, annual development plan, our CIDP, they all go through public participation. So one of the biggest things we are inviting the residents of Nairobi is to interrogate when we call for this public participation and citizen engagement forums, which are going to scale up quite a lot from, going forward, is interrogate, give us feedback, be the accountability, and you are the accountability. The biggest challenge we have as, I think it's a cultural thing, is always seeing the negative, but I don't blame them because we who are doing and know we're doing great stuff, we don't speak about it. I mean, I am always, the late Michuki is my inspiration. Despite all, he made an impact. We will do that. We will have an impact. Sakaja was...
it's interesting that he's always used as a example. But we talk about time for implementation. He woke up literally one day and said, this nonsense ends today. Tomorrow, people said, okay, if that's the case, we will walk.
And they walked.
He didn't say, okay, well, I have a plan to bring in seatbelts and I have a plan to implement and today, what do we say? People use it. People use it as examples over and over. And I think we need to get away.
But he had a plan, by the way.
Yes,
true,
but he had a plan. He had a plan.
Absolutely. He executed it, which is what we're doing.
This is the thing. We saw it almost immediately because he didn't wait for this and the other thing to be in place and said, we're going to go. And then we figure out some of these other details as we go. But in terms of implementing the plan, we go ahead and do it.
Yes.
We go ahead and do it. Why? Because the opposite or the not implementing the plan was far more detrimental than
we had lived with it.
And sitting with it.
But we had lived with it. Again, goes back to everything rises and falls on leadership. And we have a great leader in His Excellency Governor Sakaja. It's going to work. I mean, for you now, it's just to reassure you that we have a solid plan and we're executing it.
It's in motion.
It's in motion. It's working.
One of the things that I like about the Nairobi Festival is focuses people onto Nairobi.
Exactly, yeah.
And the vibrancy of Nairobi, the culture of Nairobi, as you said, everything around Nairobi. It brings them together into one place in several days.
Absolutely, yeah.
And it's something to celebrate. It's something that even the people of Nairobi, those who call themselves Nairobians, whose shags in Nairobi is not like us. We are from Loitoktok. He's from Tamu, Mombasa, Nakuru, and other places. The people who are actually born, bred in Nairobi, their parents were born, bred in Nairobi, those are Nairobians.
Absolutely.
This is their
shags.
This is their shags.
Yeah.
They have a lot to look back and celebrate. They have a lot to enjoy. We who have visited Nairobi have a lot to look and celebrate and enjoy. And this brings that together.
And
but
that's the essence of the
how
platform.
does it expand outside Uhuru Park into looking at Nairobi in totality? For example, the history of Nairobi, as you said, looking back over 100 years of Nairobi into the development of the estates. The other day we were asking ourselves, so there is Ofafa Jericho, Ofafa Maringo. Who's Ofafa? And why was it called Jericho? Why is it called Maringo? Who's Lumumba? Why is there Lumumba estate? Why is it Caliph?
Exactly.
Right?
Those are the stories
Jericho.
So do we get to experience that? Do we get like a mini tour of Nairobi when you come to Uhuru Park and see you're now on the eastland side of Nairobi? We have Jerusalem, Maringo, Kongoni. We have all these places. We get to the other side. Do we get to experience that?
You will experience in the next edition of Nairobi Festival.
That's too long.
Wait. But between now and then, we shall have something in place. City Hall is a place to experience as well. Gazettement of the how those historical houses where the past leaders used to
Tomboya.
live. Voila.
We have the Labour College.
That's one.
The Tomboya house where Jaramogi lived.
His offices were.
So we have a list. We're working with partners. That is the KTB, National Museum, etc., and the Council of Governors. We've already identified those assets that needs to be gazetted. And now the next step will be tell the story. And I'm saying this is what we're doing within the next until end of this fiscal year. I'm not taking off the future. And that you can hold us accountable.
Waziri,
yeah.
You mentioned South Africa. 60% of their tourism comes from local tourism. Local.
Yeah.
Now, think of the 47 counties. No, let's say 46, because Nairobi is one of them. Do you know the number of people who just like to come to Nairobi to see what Nairobi looks like? Literally.
Correct.
You see school tours.
Everybody in Kenya wants to
come to Nairobi to see what Nairobi is like. All these things they hear about. Nairobi, this expressway. People want to see the expressway.
KICC.
They want to take pictures.
Yes.
There's a point I'm trying to make.
Yes.
We've understood there exists a market of local tourists in this country. We've seen it. Like now, SGR is booked until God knows when, because people are going wherever the SGR ends towards the ocean. The market exists. When you hear a tinge of impatience in my voice about the next, I'm thinking, the people who want to travel already exist. The people who want to come to Nairobi already exist.
Opportunities, yeah.
The people who are in this business of touring people already exist.
Absolutely.
The monuments they want to see, we're not importing. They're already there.
Yes.
What is so difficult about connecting these dots? People leave God knows where to go and see wild animals in another God knows where place. And it's far. Nairobi is just around the corner. It's the center of everywhere. Surely. This is the point I'm trying to make.
I feel you. I hear you completely. We are aggressively reached out to the Kenya Tourist Board because they have a role to play. It cannot be done alone. It has to be a collaboration.
That Kenya Tourism Board, what are they supposed to do exactly?
Market Kenya to the world.
Number one.
Only
they
the
have
world.
No. There is another one. Destination marketing, market the counties. The development of products or even identification and marketing of those products.
And they're doing this as we speak?
Yes, they're doing it.
They've been doing it over
many years.
Over many years.
But the opportunity we have is to leverage that as a county, which we have started that journey. Yeah.
So what exactly happens during the festival? Apart from, the entertainment that happens on stage, what?
A lot happens. Yeah. So we have, I think what's important, especially for the business people, is that we have the vendor zone, the trade zone, where you can come and, showcase your wares and, do business. Because we're bringing a lot of, at any one time you can say we have about 20,000 people. Last year we anticipate this, by the end of Sunday, we'll have about 300,000 persons visiting. Yesterday was explosive. It was very good, and people did good business. So that's one. The next one is that we have a kiddie zone. Schools are closed.
Yes.
So that thing yesterday was, that zone yesterday was overwhelming, So a lot of activities for the kids. For the kids or adults that like electronic games, we have an esports zone where they can, competitive, we have set it up for them and so on and so forth. We also have the hot air balloon, if you want to have a ride in the morning. Yes, we do.
In Nairobi?
In Nairobi. The park, but, it's just up and down, yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So there's everything. I mean, and for those guys who like fun in the night, even after we close the main stage, we have the Sherehe Village, now where it happens until dawn. But that's for 18 plus. So it's very
How does
exciting.
one access Uhuru Park?
So there are 2 gates. There are actually 4 gates. It's still in the final stages of finalization. So currently, for the festival, for VIPs, they are going through the gate D, which is a gate next to Green Park. Yeah, Green Park. This.
So that's Haile Selassie Avenue.
Haile Selassie, yeah. Okay. And then gate A is on opposite Serena, next to the All Saints Cathedral. And then we have other gates, on Uhuru Highway. It's a Uhuru Highway, yeah?
Yeah.
But those ones are still, because of the construction of the expressway, the landing from the airport to CBD, then that's under construction. So currently it's not accessible, but it will be accessible in future. And then we have foot, gates for people on foot. Still, again, on that side of whatever.
So foot traffic is along Uhuru Highway?
Yes. Now, when we fully open, but currently the entrance is on this side of Serena.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Serena and the other, so the VIP side is from Haile Selassie.
For the festival, yes.
Into.
Yeah.
Is Uhuru Park going to be open after Sunday?
Yes. His Excellency the Governor Sakaja has confirmed that it will be open until New Year. In fact, he asked us to ensure that there's, during New Year, there's explosive, serious fireworks. So very exciting. So it's going to be open throughout. It's expected that we will not charge for entry. Of course, for the Nairobi Festival, just to make sure that there's a bit of order, we're charging really minimum fees, 50 shillings for children and 100 shillings for adults. Yeah.
So it's all about, there's a lot of commerce happening.
A lot.
If one wants to be a vendor now, can they apply, or is it closed out?
It's closed. It's closed, yeah.
Yes.
It's closed, yes. It's closed, yeah. It's closed, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we did that call out almost 4 weeks ago, and there was an overwhelming response. But of course, there's a criteria.
And there are different vendors.
Different vendors. The food, art, everything, yeah.
Apparel
electronics
and fashion,
yeah,
electronics.
And also we have corporates showcasing what they offer, like JTL with their Wi-Fi and stuff. We have actually even the state agencies I'm talking about, they're on site. Kenya Film Corporation, I don't know if you saw during the Climate Summit, we did Cinema Tower. So now those are things that we're bringing on site as well. Yeah, so Kenya Tourism, Keproba, which is about marketing the brand made in Kenya. Yeah, so we have, of course, other corporates as well.
It's a very good thing.
Yeah.
Are those commerce people going to get more support in future? Like, there's been this talk of opening up some streets during some days for commerce.
Absolutely. Again, those are the things lined up for next year.
Those are the plans.
And then a lot of corporates are very excited at partnering with us to activate that. So, and there's a lot you can do in the CBD. Closing some streets either for football, for example, or for cuisine, Indian, Swahili, whatever it is.
Street food is a culture.
It is, yeah.
And Nairobi, we know how to have, chapati madondo and all those things.
Have culture.
It's thematic, yeah. Because we have all the cultures, yeah. So depending on what you want as a theme for that particular week and how regularly, so those are things that, will come up in the year.
And then, of course, as a department that's in charge of public participation, I also expect that you have a booth at the Nairobi Festival, where you're engaging with people. If people have questions about Nairobi,
customer
people have
service,
some concerns. Maybe somebody is thinking, in our area we have not had garbage collected in a long time, or we're having sewer problems, or we're having this and the other, and they're within there, they can come.
Yeah, they can come.
And give you feedback.
But also we, reach out to us through, whichever means, phone, social media. it gets done. It gets action done.
Waziri, thank you.
Thank you very much for having me.
Waziri Dr. Anastasia Nyalita is the County Executive Committee member for Nairobi City County in charge of inclusivity, public participation and customer service. She's the one driving the second edition of the Nairobi Festival. We've been talking about Nairobi and the vibrancy it has to offer. Keep it here for more. 8 a.m.
Spice up your life.
Good morning, this is Newswire. I'm Dennis Aseto. President William Ruto has announced that Facebook and Instagram will be paying content creators using Meta platforms following the conclusion of negotiations led by the government. Ruto said following a pilot program with eligible creators in the country, Meta will be expanding monetization opportunities, allowing more creators to earn a living doing what they love. He said Kenya possesses impressive credentials as a source of highly professional human capital with highly educated, trained, skilled and dynamic young people. Kenya Defence Forces troops under Operation Malizo Halifu in the North Rift region marked the 60th Jamhuri Day celebrations by assisting a pregnant woman to deliver her baby at Mukutani military camp in Baringo County. The expectant mother, 20-year-old Genti Lusupen, is said to have arrived at the camp in an advanced stage of labor, prompting the military medics to intervene. Despite the challenges posed by the limited resources of the regimental aid post and a field medical facility not designed for maternal care, the dedicated medics managed to facilitate a safe delivery. 2 hours later, Lesupen gave birth to a healthy baby girl weighing approximately 5.5 pounds. And Governor Joseph Lenku led Kajiado residents in observing a minute of silence in honor of Lois Mpayai, who died last Thursday. He said Mpayai, who died aged 96, was the first Maasai woman to go to school 85 years ago. Mpayai will be buried Friday in Kimana. Lenku was addressing hundreds of people who turned up in Kimana town, Kajiado South, to celebrate Jamhuri Day. He said the 2010 constitution, which created devolution, envisaged bringing government services closer to the people and handed them the power to determine their destiny through citizen participation. It was a historic moment in Wajir town when Governor Ahmed Abdullahi issued title deeds to 200 residents during the Jamhuri Day celebrations. Amina Hassan, one of the beneficiaries, could not hide her joy, saying that the issuance of the title deeds could not have come at a much better time. Governor Abdullahi said that his administration was processing a total of 10,000 title deeds to give the residents. The governor used the opportunity to highlight some of the achievements his administration has made in key sectors, among them health, water, education and livestock. The winners of the UNFPA Mental Health and Adolescent Sexual and Reproductive Health and Rights Innovation Hack Club have been announced. The much anticipated award was announced during the Youth Connect Africa Summit 2023 held at the Kenyatta International Convention Center. The two youth groups from Namibia and Malawi each received $20,000 in seed funding and enterprise support from the United Nations Population Fund. A major deadlock threatened to scuttle the conference of the parties' talks hours before the meeting came to a close in Dubai. The final declaration is facing delays due to a stalemate on whether to phase out or slow down in phases the use of fossil fuels. While major oil-producing countries like Saudi Arabia, host UAE and the United States are favoring a phased-out approach, non-oil-producing countries want a text on fossil fuels phase-out included in the final text. Speaking at the conference of parties, the president of COP28, Sultan Al Jaber, pleaded with parties to soften their stances and reach a compromise. President of COP28 pleaded with countries to soften their stances. And Ukraine's main mobile network, Kvista, says it's been the target of a powerful hacker attack. Customers have been left without phone or internet access, while one city's air raid sirens stopped working. Kyivstar's chief executive implied Russia could be responsible. Ukraine's security services are investigating. Moscow has not commented. The Kyivstar network is estimated to have some 24 million mobile customers and 1 million home internet users. This is Newswire. I'm Dennis Aseto. Good morning.
102.5 Spice FM, Kisumu.
It's critical that people pay taxes. But then taxation has to have a limit. When you start overtaxing people beyond certain limit, then this is now we call robbery with violence.
We are all struggling, but we don't show. If you're not doing well, shame on you. But you have to say, I'm broke and I'm struggling. We are not okay until everybody is okay.
We are pretending to have political parties. Why don't we just be honest? And we say, these are the Luyas, these are the Kambas, these are the Kikuyus, and we find ourselves in Kenya.
You know, with politics and leadership, no matter what you do, there will always be a complaint. There will always be the assumption that you're either stealing or you're not doing things right. As a leader, don't fear. If you know you're doing the right thing, you've thought about it, you've got an expert advice, do it, then understand later.
This country, we don't need prayers. Prayers is between you and God. Good governance and thinkers who care about the country and not their stomach.
That's what we need.
All right, so there's traffic coming off of Landis Road. It's touching on the Kamkunji roundabout and then through towards Haile Selassie. That's very busy in and outbound traffic, likely to be busier over the coming days. All right, as you're getting to Globe Cinema Overpass and then underpass, all of this pass coming in from the Thika Superhighway, there is some traffic. And now, suffice to say that the traffic on the Thika Superhighway inbound is heavy, bumper to bumper, all the way past the Outer Ring Junction. And a little bit of traffic on Kiambu Road. And you're coming out of Westlands, you'll be all right. So let's look at James Gishuru, not much happening there. And then coming from Lower Kabete going to Spring Valley is busy. Also, we're looking at Kitisuru in through past Roslyn and then through towards the junction, the United Nations Crescent. That is busy as well. So an eye on things. Busy Wednesday morning. We can just keep the rumble low. Let's talk Spice FM KE on X.
This is The Situation Room, the home of hard-hitting political commentary and penetrating insights about the state of the nation. This is a talk radio experience like no other. The Situation Room, a place for hard truths, debates, and elevated conversations. The Situation Room, witty, political, engaging, deep, controversial. In the room, we have C.T. Muga, researcher, academic, seasoned political observer, a fountain of wisdom in these politically uncertain times. Ndu Oko, Nigerian by birth, Kenyan by choice, communications expert, Pan-Africanist, a truth seeker and believer in people power, and Eric Latif, agent provocateur, the man in the chair, seasoned journalist, news hound, a man who believes in punching up, not down. This is The Situation Room, the only way to start your day.
After 8 on this 13th day of December 2023, it's a day 2. Right now, the guys at IPRA, they're doing math. Apana, hiyo formula.
Crunching numbers.
How do we reduce the price without actually reducing it? Or how do we increase it and yet convince people we've reduced it?
What sorcery must we employ?
What do we do?
Bei imeshuka. Sasa imeshuka. You know, they're working hard. But tomorrow will be the 14th. Tutaskia. I expect it's coming down.
As far as I'm concerned,
it doesn't matter.
So long as there's fuel,
Wow.
it is okay.
Availability for you is number one.
That's number one.
Second, price.
I am actually not going to tax my brain with whether
price.
it's going up or down. There are more important things that I need to tax my mind on, not that one. Because that is out of my control completely.
I see.
So I'm not going to bother with it. If they wake up one morning and decide it's 500, then that bicycle, which I've owned for a long time and I've not been using, I will start using it. And it'll likely be better for me. It's not complicated. Yes.
Okay. Our next conversation is going to be about workplace management and outsourcing of non-core functions, right? We're joined by George Minor. George is the managing director of Sebo Facility Solutions Kenya Limited. Good morning, George.
Good morning. How are you?
Very well. Welcome to the hot seat of the Situation Room.
Thank you very much.
Asante sana for joining us.
Thank you.
How does it feel?
Well, the seat is hot enough, so I'm sure we'll have an interesting morning.
This one should be interesting.
Yes.
This one, it should be interesting. Outsourcing non-core functions. First of all, even defining what's core and what's not. That will be a big one.
Indeed.
To welcome you to the conversation, City has the day's proverb from Djibouti.
From Djibouti, yes, whose capital city is Djibouti.
Yes.
A dog does not mind being called a dog.
A dog does not mind being called a dog.
No, the dog doesn't at all.
George, what's your interpretation of this proverb?
Well, that's a hard one, but I'll give it a try.
Yes, please.
I think it just goes to say that everybody should be comfortable with who they are. And if a dog does not mind being called dog, then I guess each and every one of us is individually and well made, and we should be proud of who we are and not shy away from being called who we are. Yes.
Be comfortable in your skin.
Correct.
Okay. And your identity.
Indeed.
This is who you are, this is what you are. Yes, indeed. Okay. So, George, what is SEBO Facilities Solutions Kenya Limited?
Thank you very much. SEBO Facilities Solutions Kenya Limited is a workplace management systems company. So what we specialize in is performing tasks that we consider, or most companies consider, non-core. So I'll take an example of Standard Group, where we are this morning.
Yeah.
So your work is broadcasting. So that's really your core business. So you're not really too interested in the security, the cleaning, the catering, the repairs and maintenance, etc., etc. And that's where SEBO comes in. We specialize in offloading all the non-core functions of your property, and they become our core business. And that's really exactly what we do.
Why SEBO? And
So-
SEBO, for everybody who's listening, it's spelled TSEBO.
Yes.
SEBO.
So we've so SEBO means many things. So if you go across to our neighbors in Uganda, SEBO is, a word of honor for an old man. But we've borrowed the name SEBO from Lesotho, which the SEBO name, means knowledge. And so SEBO means knowledge. And what we aspire to do is to give knowledge to our people, to our Kenyan people, and to Africans in general. And I dare say that we're a company that cuts across 25 countries in this continent. And so we want to take this knowledge across to everyone.
So what is your core function as SEBO?
So my core function as SEBO, I am the managing director of SEBO Facilities Kenya Limited. I've done this job for almost 30 years now. And I started in the hospitality industry where I trained in hotel management. And what we do in SEBO is really creating a hotel within a workplace, or creating a hotel within an industry, or creating a hotel within a school, or any other, building facility. So we come in with the professionalism, the service standards that you would expect in any good 5-star hotel, but then we, transpose this into a workplace, so that when you come to work as, broadcasters, you're able to do your work without having to worry about, is this office cleaned? Do I have, tea and water? Is my security taken care of? Is the lift working, etc., etc. So that's what we do.
Okay, so please stop me if I'm wrong, but essentially what we're saying is that remove all of these other happenings that are not core business to a business and let somebody else handle them, so that the business itself can focus on its core business. I don't know how many times I've used business in that statement, but is that what we're saying?
It's exactly what we're saying. And when you do that, you see that, number one, you save costs, mainly because, you're not spending a lot of time thinking about small issues which are really non-core. You have time to invest in productivity of your core business. Again, if I use another example, like a school or a hospital, the doctors, the teachers, they're there to teach the children. The doctors are there to look after the patients. And, they can learn more, become more innovative in their field when all this other stuff that is there to support their business is looked after by a professional company that will not let them down. When the power goes, your generator will be working, and things like that, such that you have utmost uptime, and all you need to do is focus on your business, save costs, and become better at what you do. Yeah.
How does it say, can we look into the details of how removing peripheral operations does then save cost to a business operation?
So, number one, how it's able to save costs is, as SEBO, we're able to amalgamate. So we are an integrated facilities management solution. So what that means is each and everything is bundled up, right from security to your reception services and so on. So instead of having 20, 30 different vendors, you have only one invoice at the end of the day. So that saves cost in your accounts payables, because you don't have 20 different people chasing 20 different vendors. You only have basically one neck to choke, which is SEBOs. So you don't have multiple layers of supervisors and managers working. And most of all as well, in terms of your management time, the time that you save worrying about whether tissue paper was brought into the facility, whether this particular subcontractor has been paid, all of that time is put into useful use, which is managing your core business and getting better at each day by day.
So how then do you ensure, because even in as much as core business is what matters, these other things that are done are complementary to the business operating. So how do you then ensure that all these other cogs, even after having taken off that responsibility, that they are running, and that the core business will not have to say, well, where is this thing? How do you ensure that those operations continue to run seamlessly?
That's a very good question. And how we do it, our business is purely a people business. So all of these things are driven by people at all times. And we have a very good, HR and people department, that trains our people and makes sure that everything is done, properly and professionally. As I mentioned, our business across Africa is 51 years old, and in Kenya, this is our 15th year of operation. So over the years, we continue to learn. We're a learning organization, and we take feedback, and all the feedback and the learnings that we're getting from all our current and existing clients make us become better and sharper, and hence can guarantee an uptime at all times of what we're doing. Yes.
George, as I'm listening to you, I'm looking back into what many organizations would find difficult is in defining what is core to them and what is non-core. How do you help companies to realize what their core business is? Because there are many who will say, all right, so I'm in the service industry. I don't know what's core to me. Well, is accounting a core business, a core function to me? Is marketing a core function to me? Is sales a core function to me? Is, like you said, the Standard Group, SpiceFM. We are broadcasting, but we're looking to make revenue. So being in studio, this is core function, to have presenters and to have producers and content creators. Is marketing a core function for SpiceFM? Is sales a core function for SpiceFM? Is then accounting that will deal with this a core function? Is debt collection a core function? So how do you help us determine what is core and what is non-core?
So, I mean, it's an ongoing conversation. And the business itself also needs to understand and help answer that question to begin with. I mean, in the last many years, there's been a lot of, business process outsourcing, whether it's call centers, accounting functions of big multinationals are outsourced. Payables and so on and so forth. So in as much as we help you try to understand. I think it also needs to come from the business itself, where are your pain points? Where are you spending so much time, doing something that you're really not good at, and you can be able to get, somebody or a company that is good at it, invest all their time and energy in making it better, and ultimately, gives you the value that you want to extract from your company. So it's a two-way street, I'd say.
But do you walk with a company through a journey of identification?
Yes.
Because I think at some point it becomes a difficult thing. Yeah. So it's a pain point, but it's important for me to go through this pain because I have to understand my business. If a radio station must make money through selling airtime, so must I have a sales department or can I outsource this sales? That's a conversation that you may have that then just goes round and round. How do you help me identify what is really critical as core and what is not? Maybe even outsourcing presenters can happen.
You never know. So, one of the things is we always first look at the low-hanging fruits. So in the whole ecosystem, there are some things that you're easily able to let go, and some are the usual services, from security to, cleaning, to catering, to repairs and maintenance and stuff like that. And then as you continue to get comfortable, because it's also, there's an issue about comfort. Most companies have probably done this all their lives. They do not know how to do it differently. And so once you start with the low-hanging fruits and then you get some comfort, then you're able now to be able to focus more on the other areas that you think are a bit critical, but you might like to outsource. You have to look at the cost-benefit analysis of, outsourcing. What are the risks of keeping it in-house, of outsourcing, and then slowly, walk towards that journey. But it is a journey. Once you start it, then you get better and better with it.
Are there some of these non-core functions that you would not take on? For example, if you say, well, this is a non-core function for you, you come in and you do the due diligence and you say, oh, we must weed this and out. But as SEBO, we will not take this one because maybe we don't either have the expertise for it or we feel that you could get better at it. Do you give that kind of advice
Absolutely,
as well?
Yes. We know what we're good at and we know what our partners are good at. So there are items that we do not touch, but we can point you in the right direction. And we just, again, remember, this is about being, doing what you're good at. And so we will not do something that, we're not sure or we're not good at. So we already have services that we offer. We'll continue to offer those services. And what we know that there's a better partner in the market, we point you in the right direction.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so let's take a scenario where you come into company X and they have all these functions that they operate alongside their core. And obviously they need help. There's an hemorrhage in some part here or there. You say, okay, let's take away some of this cost from you by, outsourcing some of your functions. And you're using, or are you using, the very same resources that are available in terms of human resources and saying, we will outsource, but we're going to use your people and bring them under us to now do the same job. How does that exactly work? Do you remove the same people or do those people leave the organization? Do you bring in your own people? How does that process then?
So again, in most cases, some of the people will come over to us. And in some cases, they may elect not to come over to organization. And this is how it works. So we would not take out over people and put them in a worse-off situation. They will always be having, the same remuneration and so on and so forth. However, when you come over to SEBO, because we have so many clients, your career growth is pretty much assured. As opposed to in one organization where, you were doing something and you really hit a glass ceiling because the company is not expanding, for example, if you're working in, say, Standard Group, and you're the security manager, for example, the likelihood of you being the managing director of the group, it can happen, but you'd probably difficult.
There's a lower probability.
There's a lower probability. But in our case, when you come over to SEBO, you can be the managing director of SEBO. Why? Because this is what we do, whether it's a catering, whether it's the cleaning, and so on and so forth. So your career growth is much, much more assured. And we'll induct you into our ways, and you get the benefits of that.
Somebody has argued, George, before that business process outsourcing is not necessarily a cost-cutting measure in terms of monetary terms. Could we have other benefits, but not necessarily cutting down your costs. Because you will hire a security company, the security company will charge you per guard. And this is how much you pay per guard. And this will keep changing every year as you renew the contract. You will hire a security officer directly, and you will pay X amount, which may even be less than what the security company is charging you. So you're not necessarily cutting costs. Is that true?
It's not true. I mean, I think the whole, outsourcing process, if you get the right partner, you will certainly be able to cut costs. And costs can be cut right from the, the shillings that you pay, whether it's per person or, per service, all the way down to the risks. What people also don't understand is, what risk are you offloading, and so on and so forth. So there is a real, economy in outsourcing and outsourcing properly.
Demonstrate. Use that example of security. So you're outsourcing security.
Yep.
Because we see a lot that this happens. There are many security companies, and then they're attached because their company has outsourced security to this security company. What's the benefit? Where is the cost cutting coming in?
So are you talking about, say, between two security companies, or
No.
You had your own security company?
I am running a business.
Yep.
Okay. Initially, before the proliferation of all the security companies, I used to hire my own.
Correct.
Right. I would either hire them, then give them uniform and have a timetable. They come to work on this day. They have a supervisor, and the supervisor is doing that. I'm paying salary, I'm paying taxes, I'm paying everything. They're employed by my organization. And then this other scenario where I have outsourced that to a security company. And I have the service level agreement says I need 17 guards on duty every 24 hours.
So, I mean, number one, when you look at what you are paying as Company X versus what you're being charged by,
security company
company, why would you opt to go for security company Y when it is more expensive than what you are paying for your Company X?
My point exactly.
Perhaps if it's security, it isn't the cost. Perhaps is what I perceive to be better service. Perhaps is what I perceive as a confirmation that the personnel are better trained. A background check on them indicates clearly that they have more expertise in this line of work than the previous one. So the cost becomes a secondary factor.
Well, but ultimately, it will still end up as a cost saving, in my view, simply because, so if you've already considered those factors, you've considered the lack of a headache managing your own people, you've considered the fact that if one of them is sick today and you need a replacement, if they're working for you, you can't get a replacement because you would have to hire somebody or put somebody on standby. But in this security company, for example, they would be able to give you a replacement immediately. And so things like that, and off days and leave days. And just talking a bit more about what we do in SEBO. So like we, in our security arm, we don't have boots on the ground, but we use technology. So, and our technology is, you can use it with any service provider. And so like most places, including probably here in Standard Group, you've got CCTV cameras, but they're all static. You only see, whether people came in, went out, etc. But we can overlay technology in those cameras to tell you, which areas are being used more often.
No, just go back a little bit. This overlay.
Yes.
Okay. Now start.
So you've got a security company.
Yes.
You've got your CCTV cameras.
Yes.
You've got your whoever service provider that you have.
Yes.
As SEBO, we can be able to bring technology within the same system. So you still keep the
CCTV installations remain.
And even your security services
security
provider,
company remains.
But then we'll help you now get more refreshing data. So for example, you'll be able to tell which corridors are used more often, etc. And that can also inform, say, the cleaning process or which places to put, mag locks for entry, and
is it also possible to put in a system that guarantees you literally have to sign in before you actually come in?
Yes, it's possible.
It's possible.
Including, I know we seem to have forgotten about COVID now, but the system as well can also take temperature checks. So you're passing through that camera all the time. It should be able to take your temperature, and it can flag. And we've done this especially in schools, for children, somebody's running a fever or something. And so it's taking it to the next level, basically. And that's why we're saying, yes, you can look at it just from the shillings and cents perspective, but how do you take this thing better, get more useful information, and be able to save costs?
So you're able to actually integrate systems.
Correct.
For better efficiency.
Yes.
Given what the demands of your clients are.
Correct.
Now I really want to take you further back.
Let's do that.
Let's do the back thing after the break.
Yeah.
Let's take the break.
Okay, let's go forward first. 29 minutes to 9. Kenya's biggest conversation, hosting George Maina. He is the managing director of Sebo Facilities Solutions Kenya Limited. We are talking about business process outsourcing and the importance of that, importance of thinking of non-core functions being outsourced to somebody else who takes care of that as you, as an organization, focuses on what is your core business. That's a conversation we'll be having after we're back. Good morning. Live on SpiceFM, KTN Home, YouTube, Facebook, X. It's okay. There's no why. TikTok, everywhere.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.
Patrick Lodge, Otieno Lumumba. Karibu sana.
Asante sana.
CT Muga.
CT Lodge.
Muga, not Muga.
He's here, and here's the day's proverb.
One man marries a woman, another man marries troubles.
Is he the same man?
Spice.
A lion cannot eat more than 2 donkeys. It will die a natural death because there is no ICU in the forest. In Kenya, it has become the situation that you cannot conduct 2 elections. In fact,
with the same
Bukati,
IBC.
You can't.
I tell you about this Indian friend of mine who was enjoying other Indians in the group. He wrote the word valve and told them, read it.
So how did he say it? I really want to know.
The valve. Kina Edna, it's the you said the B's and the P's. Kila kitu mkisia kisema atasema opposite.
Opposite?
Ukisema yeye anasema opposite.
Opposite.
Wewe ukisikiliza namna hii unasikia opposite.
The Situation Room, Spice. The only way to start your day.
It's 17 degrees and sunny conditions in Nairobi. We'll see highs of 26 and lows of 15. Lows of 14 in sunny Nakuru and lows of 15 in a sunny Nyeri at 19. It's 17 and sunny in Eldoret, going to highs of 25 and lows of 13. We're looking at mostly cloudy conditions at 28 in Mombasa with highs of 32, and we'll see highs of 32 as well in a partly sunny Malindi at 29. In Kisumu this morning, it's sunny at 24 and sunny at 22 in Kakamega. As we look out into Kampala, the sun is up at 20 with highs of 28, and in Dar es Salaam, sunny at 28 with highs of 31. Johannesburg is sunny at 18 with highs of 27, and we're looking into a sunny Mogadishu at 30 with highs of 32. Addis Ababa is sunny at 17, highs of 26, and into a hazy Lagos at 23, we'll see highs of 32. Highs of 31 will be realized in Kinshasa, where it's mostly sunny at 25.
Spice up your life.
All right, so see traffic busy coming in from the city, rather into the city from the Thika Superhighway. That's heavy as you're coming in towards the Pangani underpass. And also on Kiambu Road, in and outbound traffic is quite the thing. It's going to continue for some time from what we can see. But again, nothing too scary. Right now, Landis was busy early on, and we still see that business continuing as we're getting into it. Keeping an eye on things as what's coming in from the Thika Superhighway, but I think we should be fine. Limuru Road is also starting to look a bit messy earlier on. But I think that's going to open up and we should be all right. Yes, we're still in traffic hour. Let's see what happens as we go through it. SpiceFM KE on X.
Spice up your life. Mature, intelligent talk every morning. Spice up yourself.
Our conversation continues 25 minutes to 9. George Maina, Managing Director, Sebo Facility Solutions Kenya Limited. We're talking about business process outsourcing your non-core functions and the benefits of that. You want to take us back, City?
Yes.
Let's go all the way back.
I'm curious because this story, this is how legends are built. What made you think of this business?
Good question. So, I mean, one of the things, as I said, I was trained in the hospitality business, and I first went to work in Mombasa as my first job, and then fate took me to West Africa, where I worked.
What form did this fate take?
Mundu is nodding vigorously, like
ignore that question. Yes, just continue.
Well, let's just say fate took me to West Africa.
Yes, West Africa, legends being made.
Legends were made there. And, so I ended up as what we call a camp manager in one of the remote sites where in a gold mining company, Anglo Gold, Ashanti. And so from there, I started to wonder, how come in these remote places, somebody would expect to get really good service, really good bed, real good food, etc., etc. And started my journey of doing this job. I went there as an employee. I ended up buying the company from the founder.
The company.
The company. Yes, and the rest is history now.
Part 2 of your history question.
Well, history is a wonderful thing, isn't it? Okay. Think about it. See, I'm looking at the thinking process of simply looking at gaps that exist within organizations, which we now refer to as opportunities. You see, okay, that's what these guys do. Now, they are bothering doing this, but this really isn't their core business. For instance, it's like us. If we didn't have a cafeteria that's run by a catering firm, now imagine Standard Group employing people to cook.
Can imagine.
I can also imagine it. I can also imagine the mess and the problem and the headaches that we would have. Okay? Or Standard Group employing security people. I can just again imagine, yes, you could employ them. And then what? It'll all get muddled up in your core business, and you'd actually stop focusing on your core business, dealing with these other issues. But now, is there a point at which your organization then looks and sees and says, but given what these guys are doing, I'm going back into history, we can as well take over this organization, because if we are running the extracurricular activities that they have, then chances are we can also run what they're doing.
Not
bought off a client.
No.
Well, yes, because if you have the know-how to determine, look, this is your core business, and they acknowledge, actually you're right, we don't need to be doing this, then it means you have moved yourself to the position where you actually understand their business. That's why you can tell them, this isn't your core business. Now you see, the next logical step that I'm saying.
I don't think it would be the next logical step, because we pride ourselves in what we do. We're, in Kenyan parlance, KYM people. And that's our niche. What bothers most people is a joy for us, and that's why we will not. We don't care to be in the broadcasting business. We don't care to own,
You have no idea how lucrative it is, that's why.
We're happy where we are, and it's lucrative cleaning and catering and doing all of other things. Yes.
That's why, City. Yeah. What is the core business of Sebo Facility Solutions?
So the core business of Sebo Facility Solutions is providing workplace management services. And what do we define workplace management services are? It's the non-core issues that you're working with. So everything from the gate, the security, you get to the reception, you find a clean environment. Everything works. The lift works. The ACs work, etc. You can go to the cafeteria and have a meal. There's water and so on and so forth. That is the core business of Sebo.
So you're all those other things?
We're all those other things that make this workplace enjoyable. That things that you will not notice. But if this office is not cleaned for 2-3 days, you will have a problem. Correct. But generally, because it happens so seamlessly all the time, and you can walk down to the cafeteria and grab a cup of coffee or something, you really don't notice the effort that is put into, doing all of these things, and that's really what our core business is.
George, is Sebo an agency?
No.
That then outsources this core function, I outsource the headache to you, then you deal with the various service providers? Or are you saying Sebo is the various service providers rolled into one?
So our uniqueness, and I guess that's really a very important question, is that we self-perform all of these services. So we do not outsource. So we have employees who work in cleaning, who work in catering, who work in technical repairs, maintenance, etc., etc. However, there are certain small items that could be specialized. So, for example, say you don't want to stock lift spare parts for Schindler and so on and so forth. So you would outsource to a specific, or if there's an OEM and there's a defects liability period and we've come to a client, then we'd work with the OEM and so on. But we do all the work. And in Kenya, we have over 1,500 staff. Across the continent, we're about 33,000 people who do each and every piece of work that is required.
But surely, just like you're telling us at SpiceFM, we must have our core expertise. Do you have a core expertise? Do you have something that you say, we are actually stronger in security services than we are in cleaning, or than we are in repairs and maintenance, or than we are in accounting and auditing functions?
So remember when I started, I said my background and the background of most of the people we work with is hospitality, hotels in particular. And so we endeavor to provide a hotel environment at the workplace, whether it's a factory and so on and so forth. And if you go to a hotel, the core, everything is core, whether things are working, etc., the food, the beds are made, and so on and so forth. And so that's our principle. So I can't say just cleaning, I can't say just catering. It's all the services in the workplace that are relevant to making you feel comfortable, because we want this to be a hotel without beds, basically. Yes.
So, I imagine that then you have a workforce that is huge. You just talked about 33,000 around the continent.
Yes.
What in Kenya?
1,500 or so, plus or minus at any one time.
Right, across those functions.
Yes.
So do you then take on the needs of an organization? For example, you had a cleaning staff 50 strong. Okay, maybe that's a high number. 25 strong, whatever. And then you now say, we're going to replace with the number that you had before you released it to us? Or are you going to say, well, here's a more efficient model with which you can work, and maybe I will just give you 5 people that you can work with,
but the place will still be
as clean.
So that's exactly what we do. And talking about specifically about cleaning. So unlike most organizations who do cleaning as a standalone item, we like to price our cleaning based on square meters. And so we won't come and say, so you'll come and tell me I have 20 cleaners, but I'll say you might not need 20 cleaners. You might need 10 cleaners, but then we also need additional equipment. So, we can work the scrubbers and so on and so forth. So we give you a solution. That is why we called SEBO Facilities Solutions.
Okay.
So the idea is to give you a solution, and still, circles back to the point about you will save costs. And just talking about right now in Kenya, there's a lot of hard economic times. Companies are closing, for one reason or the other. We are there to support those companies, such that are there areas in your business that we could partner with you, help you save costs, because we also want to continue to provide employment for our people.
Yeah. Do you think that's where Kenya would be going? I remember walking into organization, and not here, another country, and there was one person. I mean, it felt like it was like a ghost town. There was one person at the reception, and she knew everything. She knew who was supposed to be going where, and this is your appointment, this is for this person, you go, you do your thing. I did not see anybody else. And then I can't remember which floor I was going to, but got to the next, and then again, there's one person there, and things are working seamlessly. There's a coffee, there's tea, whatever. It was clear that the place was clean. And then you do your business. But the people on the floor who were handling this business had nothing to do with this person who's at the reception.
Correct.
Did not know. They just knew that there was a schedule. It's done. Is that
she was a concierge?
Yes,
she was
essentially
a business concierge.
Right. And she was very clear about what it was. So much so that she was speaking French to me, but then the other person who came was speaking another language. She was speaking to them in another language. Was able to run that seamlessly, and then they went up, did their thing, they finished. Do we get to the point where you can have businesses that run in that manner, whereby this function of receiving people can be across board for different organizations, and then now you're maximizing on efficiency but minimizing on numbers in terms of human resource?
It is. That's in Europe, North America, and now even in the Middle East, it's happening, and that's our aspiration. And what we're trying to do is de-risk the whole process, because people feel uncomfortable when new stuff is being introduced, and that's why I even said we normally try to do a step-by-step approach, look at what is low-hanging, so that then it builds the confidence and so on. But our aspiration is to get to where people are specialized, people are also learning new skills, so that they can get other opportunities, and we continue to grow together.
As you speak, I'm smiling or smirking because I'm thinking of these buildings we have in this city, where there's some form of security individual who's asking for your ID. Yes, that's what they do. Yeah. And you're caught between trying to explain to them that I actually cannot give you my ID. I can show it to you, and you're thinking, let's make this thing seamless. So now you get rid of that person, because there are around 3 or 4 of them. Yes.
Let's make it seamless. Yeah, that's the way.
Then you have one individual who seems to know exactly what needs to be done and walks you through the process. The image that has been given with the presence of the security personnel is that you then are supposed to feel secure. I usually don't feel very secure though, but the idea is I'm supposed to feel secure that this is happening. Now, as you speak, the optics I am seeing, and that's why I was smirking and smiling, is inefficiency, not efficiency. So when you are offering this service, I'm taking the view that part of what you're offering is efficiency.
Correct.
Now, you mentioned technology. How then does technology mesh in with this individual who is there providing this particular service to ensure that you get to where you're going in this building? How then do you meld the security element with this individual? Because the optics are pronounced security. These numbers were in these uniforms, we tend to be blue for some reason. Yes.
So these. So you're right when you say that you have to gel both the people and the technology, and you won't get a place where we will completely eliminate people, because people also like to
talk to other people,
and so on and so forth. But we can bring a lot of technology. I mean, one of the things as well is the way we do it now with, you write your name there and your ID. The laws on data protection are really, getting stricter. We do have a law on data protection. People should not be having this data sitting in every, building that you've ever visited in this town. And we know some of the conmanships that have come through is, people going to M-Pesa shops and probably getting some data, whatever, or other shops. So we intend to bring the right technology. Training is important, but more so as well ensure that both technology and the people, continue to give a good service.
What's the future in this, actually, when you talk about, innovation and technology coming in? What you are offering me is efficiency, right? That's basically what you're saying. I want you to be more efficient in your core business. And for you to be more efficient, you need to have all hands on deck doing what you ought to be doing and not thinking about all these other things. Now, that doesn't necessarily have to mean that you come in and bring people to do all those other things. You could employ technology. What's the future of that, of having all these other non-core functions actually being outsourced? Could you say that now, because your core function is accounts, or your core function is this and the other, I can house you all in one place where then I provide these other peripheral solutions to all of you together?
It's something that has happened, and especially now with the advent of people working, from home. People are, trying to minimize on their real estate, how much you're paying for rent and so on and so forth. So, and there's a lot of co-working spaces, available. So, I mean, what are co-working spaces doing? They're doing exactly that. So different people from different organizations come, but they experience the same service, technology, whether it's the emails and so on and so forth. I mean, one of the other things that we do in a very big way is catering. We're probably one of the biggest catering companies that most people do not know about, because we cater for institutions, for factories, for schools and colleges. And we're currently, cooking between 15 to 20,000 meals a day. I don't think there's many hotels or organizations that can do that. Yes.
Okay.
Whoa. So yeah.
No, go on.
Yeah.
So you have a central kitchen.
We have a central kitchen, and we also have kitchens in
satellite
kitchens and kitchens in client premises, like what you have here. Yes, correct.
So I hear you to be saying that these kitchens serve certain outlets.
Yes.
Are these outlets yours?
Yes. Well,
some are.
They're clients.
Our clients.
They're your clients.
Yes. So we're a corporate catering.
So you partner with them. Okay.
You've been hired by them.
CT Cafe. Okay.
I like the sound of that.
Okay. Now, meaning I come to you and I tell you this is what I'm going to be doing. So I don't really cook. You do the cooking for me.
Is that it? Is that what you're saying?
No. So
it's like
Standard Chartered Bank.
It's like Standard Group and our catering service provider.
Correct.
So also Sebo does the catering service provision. So Sebo would replace our catering service provider.
Yes.
There's that.
Yes, but you see, there is a reason why I'm saying CT Cafe. Let's say I have 10 restaurants in this town.
No, not cafes. Not walk-in, walk-out. Cafes, mainly
corporate.
Yes, corporate. So there's
within
a captive market.
Within institutions.
Correct.
Yes. See now.
Yeah, there's a captive market.
Now I've seen the difference. And
the City Cafe, your core business is the cafe.
You can't outsource
the
cooking.
Yes.
You see, again,
your core business.
Yes. No, it doesn't have to be my core business. My core business to provide
the money.
Yes, no, to provide the service, because you see, if there's a centralized cooking, I can guarantee quality and standardization.
Or your core business can be the waiter
and dispensing the food. That is actually my to a retail market.
Waiter,
and this is my production, and this is my wholesaler.
So long as you have your menu, you say this is what I want to be serving every day. You bring the food. We handle the rest.
Correct. So actually, you're very right, and we do have a few of those clients where we provide some items. So it could be baked items, it could be stews, etc., where they outsource. we provide, and then they'll do the finishing and client facing. Yes.
Yeah.
So yes, it's possible.
You're onto something.
Your city cafe
can actually kick in.
Yes.
So this headache of mpisha ligongo na gari, I don't have that story.
Correct.
Leo hatuna nini.
Viazi hazijakuja.
So just we're talking about the other business, which is on the one that offering service office services, right?
Yes.
So you've got all these co-working spaces. So co-working spaces are doing exactly the kind of thing that you're doing.
Yes.
Because you bring in all these companies are in this place, they are only paying rent for the desk and the small space that they occupy. The other guy is dealing with the cleaning, the security, the power, the internet connectivity, the concierge service, the mailing and all, and there's even a restaurant there. Similar kind of thing.
Yes, and we're actually even working with some co-working spaces and providing some of these auxiliary
services.
Yes.
So that the co-working guy is only dealing with the real estate bits
Yes.
of, so this is the thing so then Sebo comes in to provide the security, to provide the cleaning,
the
food,
etc. Basic repairs and maintenance and so on. Yes.
In this kind of environment where FKE, like you just mentioned, FKE released a statement the other day, and it was just a statement of distress. This is what's happening in many of our member organizations. We're having to downsize, we're having to let go, we're having to... How would you be able to alleviate some of this distress for companies?
So, we feel the pain, even us. Like just this year, we had to increase the social security and SSF by 880 shillings, the 1.5% housing levy. And so we've also been working with our clients and partnering with them to ensure that, again, as I said, we provide a solution. So some solutions are very basic to why do we need to clean during the day? Give us access, to clean, at night when there's no people, and we can do the job with less people. And during the day, there'll just be, one guy, who just goes through 5-6 floors. You don't even get to see him, or her for that matter. So it's coming up with solutions, and these solutions are whatever we can save. Will save a business. If it's overlaying technology in guarding, so why have a static guard standing behind the wall, and just having a buzzer which that they have walked there every hour. Could you use the CCTVs in that area better, and things like that. So catering services as well, can we change the menu to a much more basic but nutritious meal still, and lower the cost, because food year on year inflation has continued to go up. So it's coming up with solutions and seeing how do we keep businesses running and create a win-win situation for all of us.
Institutions, like schools are not they're schools that are businesses, they're public schools are not businesses. Would you offer services to the same? Yes,
we actually have quite a number of schools in our portfolio, and we're looking for other schools as well, if anybody is interested. And we're offering the full service. So again, the teacher and the management of the school just comes and does what they're supposed to do, which is work on education, get the grades and so on and so forth. As we work on sorting out all the other things in the environment.
Including transport?
Well, right now we don't do transport, but we do have a partner whom we advise, if a school needs transport, we can point you in the right direction.
Okay. How does one get in touch with you? People are listening to this and thinking, hey, I'd like to talk to you.
Yes. You can get in touch with us via email. The email is info@sebo.com. You can also call us on 0722 755 033. And you can follow us, Sebo Facility Solutions Kenya, in all the channels, Facebook, Instagram, X and YouTube and which other one?
KBC.
TikTok.
Those ones. Yes.
All those
ones, yes. Sebo Facility Solutions.
Website?
Website www.sebokenya.co.ke.
And if I'm in Rwanda or other parts of Africa?
+254 722 755 033. You can call and we will be able to help you.
Thank you, George.
You're most welcome.
George Maina, Managing Director, Sebo Facility Solutions, Kenya Limited. More conversations coming, 9 a.m.
Spice up your life.
Good morning. This is Newswire. I'm Dennis Aseto. President William Ruto has assured that all taxes collected by the state shall be put to their intended use and no single shilling shall be lost to embezzlement or corruption. The president called on the judiciary and anti-corruption agencies to discharge their mandate without fear, favor, ill will or prejudice. At the same time, the president said enhanced resources have been allocated to the judiciary to promote its independence, adding that the country will continue to be guided by the rule of law. Additionally, Ruto noted that Parliament is now more independent with its own calendar and budget, which has enhanced its decision-making capabilities without influence from political parties. Kirinyaga Governor Anne Waiguru has asked the national government to allow rice farmers to buy the Mwea rice mills where it is offered for privatization. Waiguru said because farmers own 45% of the mills, it is only logical that they are given the first priority to buy the 55% national government stake in the facility. The governor said the county government will help the farmers in acquiring the national government shares so that they can run the factory. Speaking during Jamhuri Day celebration at Good Samaritan Secondary School grounds in Muthithi, Mwea, she said the government does not run business and therefore MRM factory should be sold to the rice farmers. Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition Party has sued National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula, accusing him of violating the constitution. In documents filed in court, the Raila Odinga-led coalition faults Wetangula for allegedly delaying to de-whip nominated MP Sabina Chege as Azimio's deputy chief whip. The opposition coalition also blames Wetangula for recognizing Jubilee as a parliamentary party and subsequently Sabina Chege as its interim chief whip. Police in Turkana apprehended a 43-year-old man linked to money laundering. The suspect, whom authorities identified as Douglas Simon Matei, was nabbed at his rented house following an operation conducted by officers from Lokichogio police station between 7 a.m. and 7:50 p.m. The arrest came following a tip-off from the members of the public. Detectives recovered 1,000 Kenyan notes, 38 pieces of paper with images of a 1,000 Kenyan shillings note, 2 bottles containing unknown liquid, clear crystals, a bottle of office glue, 3 black paper bags, and 2 syringes containing unknown liquid. The recovered items were kept as exhibits, with the suspect placed in custody pending arraignment. The Cabinet Secretary for Labour and Social Protection, Florence Bore, disclosed that Kenya has entered into a mega labour migration deal with Saudi Arabia. According to Bore, who is in Riyadh on an official visit, Kenya is said to benefit greatly from job opportunities in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, a plus to thousands of young people who are graduating from colleges and universities. The Labour CS further confirmed that Kenya has signed a bilateral labour agreement for the recruitment of healthcare personnel with the United Kingdom and Northern Ireland. Milestone declarations and pledges on green farming, food systems and mobilizing funds to rehabilitate forests and oceans packed the climate agenda at the COP28 summit as the 2-week conference entered its final stretch in Dubai, the United Arab Emirates, on December 10th, which was also COP28 Food, Agriculture and Water Day. A milestone declaration that puts the future of green farming and food systems at the heart of climate talks gained momentum after its signatories climbed to 152 countries from 134 since its launch on December 1st. The COP28 Emirates Declaration on Sustainable Agriculture, Resilient Food Systems and Climate Action stressed that any path to fully achieving the long-term goals of the Paris Agreement must include agriculture and food systems, and that they have to urgently adapt and transform to respond to the imperatives of climate change. This is Newswire. I'm Dennis Aseto. Good morning.
94.4 Spice FM, Nairobi.
All right, it hasn't been too bad today, but we're looking at traffic on Uhuru Highway getting into the city. It's coming in from Aerodrome as well. As you get out to Haile Selassie at the junction, let's look at Jogo Road where there's traffic still around the Bakadara train station. That has not let up just yet. And Landis is busy getting towards the Kamkunji roundabout. All right, what else? On the Thika Superhighway, it's still heavy coming in from Survey. Kiambu Road is seeing some of that. And now is when we see the late bloomers on Kiambu Road as well as Limuru Road coming into the city. So that's causing some traffic there this morning, but we should be out of it in no time. Let's know what may pop off. Talk to us on Spice FM, KE on X.
This is the Situation Room, the home of hard-hitting political commentary and penetrating insights about the state of the nation. This is a talk radio experience like no other. The Situation Room, a place for hard truths, debates, and elevated conversations. The Situation Room, witty, political, engaging, deep, controversial. In the room, we have C.T. Muga, researcher, academic, seasoned political observer, a fountain of wisdom in these politically uncertain times. Ndu Oko, Nigerian by birth, Kenyan by choice, communications expert, Pan-Africanist, a truth seeker and believer in people power, and Eric Latif, agent provocateur, the man in the chair, seasoned journalist, news hound, a man who believes in punching up, not down. This is the Situation Room.
Yes,
the
indeed.
only way to start your day.
How are you doing? Welcome to the final hour of the Situation Room. It's the 13th of December, 2023. Where are you? Are you back to work after yesterday's public holiday? Were you working on yesterday's public holiday? Those are the Kenyans we want.
What?
Those ones who either were working yesterday in the public holiday, or even if they took a public holiday yesterday, they're back to work today. You know, lazima tu fanya kazi. Ndio tuweze kulipa ushuru. Ndio tujitegemee. These are the people who have decided that you've closed our office until next year.
You're the people that are taking us backwards.
Hao ndio wanatuweka kwa hii shida. Tuko nayo for long. Everybody go back to work. Surely mambo gani? You know? Anyway, it's holiday season, and this is the season when it doesn't matter. You will travel. You will definitely travel. And there'll be very many people who will be traveling and they are not obeying the law
of Kenya. Of traffic.
Because some people will decide ni sherehe tumetoka hapa kwa nani. Tulikuwa tumeenda, tulikuwa tumeitwa na auntie and they kakunywa kitu. Now tunarudi nyumbani.
Na hii gari najua nyumbani.
Gari najua nyumbani. Oh, then they are driving while intoxicated. Then you're there, you are following the law. Mtu anakumalika, anaenda zigzag. You know, that's what we want to talk about. Road safety in this period. Because we've seen statistically that what happens during this period of Christmas and festivities, we see an increase in road accidents. And the traffic police department have basically saying, you know what, let's think. We have in the studio with us the boss of the traffic police department, Traffic Commandant Mary Wangoi Omari, and the officer in charge of road safety in the traffic police department, Peter Odhiambo. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Karibuni sana to the hot seat of Kenya's biggest conversation.
Thank you.
Madam, mambo namna gani?
Well, mambo ni mzuri kabisa.
Very good.
Madam, unajua sifa ya media inakuweka mbaya. Hii media si ile. Hii ni ile mzuri.
Asante sana. Thank you for the assurance.
Karibuni sana.
Asante.
We're going to have a conversation about road safety. And of course, Bwana Odhiambo, you are in charge of road safety. We'll seek to understand what that exactly means. But to welcome you to the conversation, every day we have a proverb from an African country. So CT goes to one of the African countries, picks proverbs from that country, and gives us a new proverb every day. So you listen to the proverb, and then you'll tell us what's your interpretation of that proverb. CT?
Yes,
where are we this week?
We are in the Republic of Djibouti, whose capital city is Djibouti. And they have a huge population of 1 million people only.
In that city?
Which
or in the country?
The country.
In the entire country?
Country, 1
All
million.
of them are 1 million.
It's exactly.
Okay.
So, something to
Like
ponder.
CBD.
Like, it's like CBD of Nairobi. Right. The proverb of the day. A dog does not mind being called a dog.
A dog does not mind being called
a dog.
A dog. Madam Commandant, what's your interpretation of this proverb?